Discovery, go at throttle up.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Attempt number 2 for Starship Flight 10. DJ's coverage. What's up? My stream now. Look at me. Look at me. I run the streams now. What's going on? What is going on? How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing over on the YouTube side of things? Congrats on 4,000 subscribers on YouTube. Wait, did we do that?
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hypersonic Nerd, Tier 2, 83-month resub. Hi, is the weather looking better today? 55% favorable from SpaceX themselves. Here, take a little peek. Peeky right here. I thought you were on NSF today. I was on NSF today. I did part of their stakeout stream. I did about half of their stakeout stream. Yeah, all right, Mohawk. Take your nap. How are we doing? I'm doing okay. Did we really cross 4,000? Hey, all right. That's pretty good. That's pretty neat. Hey, that's cool. All right. All right. What is the planned launch time? The 10th flight of Starship is preparing to launch as soon as Monday, August 25th. The launch window will open up at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. SpaceX is currently targeting the top of the launch window, so they're currently going for 7:30 Eastern right now. And here's a shot from our buddies, courtesy of our buddies over at NSF. This is Starbase Live. They are targeting 6:30. They are not targeting 6:30 Eastern Time. They are targeting 6:30 Central Time. That's why I said 7:30 Eastern Time. You should do a 4K special. No, I'm not doing that. I don't do specials. I don't do hype beast nonsense. I just stream. Okay. That's right. It goes in the Central Time hole. So we do have some tank farm activity here. Give me 1 second.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Give me 1 second. Yeah, there we go. All right, cool. Excellent. Sorry, just needed to help Jack out with something real quick. So 2 hours and 30 minutes out from the launch window. The roadblock's already in place here. Beach is clear. Pad is clear. Now, why did SpaceX scrub yesterday? They scrubbed because they had a LOX line leak on the ship quick disconnect. So that's this truss thing right here that goes to, well, fill up the ship with fuel and oxidizer. Particularly, they had an oxidizer leak. right around here, a pipe decided it didn't want to hold cryogenic propellants flowing at the rate that they were flowing them at, and started leaking it overboard. It immediately shut down the whole thing. So, have you seen the Elon video yesterday of Star Factory? I have, Trapo. That's only a bit of Star Factory, which is crazy. It's pretty awesome. Thumbs up from you. Thanks, John. So, there were guys basically burning the midnight oil there, fixing this thing. And when I started the stakeout stream this morning, they were just finishing up their work. So right now we're currently kind of just waiting this out. So it's yeah, should be good here. You guys have questions for me? We are well into chill down now. Well, yeah, that's right. That is pretty chill. Pad's a pretty chill guy, Ryan. Yeah, we got the bunker vent, Pope vent. We should start seeing what's next, Ryan. We have Ryan Weber in chat, Mr. Skull Shot over there. Over in the Twitch chat, sorry, YouTube. He likes Twitch, okay? Just saying. Waiting on the Anvil clouds to leave. They have the go no go pull for fueling at T-minus 1 hour and 15. So that means between then and now, in the next hour and 15 minutes, we should start to see them opening up the BQD and the ship vents. That's not for a little while though. Off topic, but go watch the Tigers highlights from yesterday when you get the chance. Oh yeah? Can we have some hopium? Can't fly. I'm nervous about V2 ships. Why? Why are you nervous about V2 ships? You're nervous about V2 ships? Don't worry about it. Just sit back and enjoy the ride, my dude. Don't get it right. No dooming. Enzo EJ, Mission Control, are we good for mixing beer 3 with beer 4? Chat, this is EJ Control. We would advise against the mixture of beer. What Elon video were you talking about? Talking about this one. Well, no, that's a good one, but please hold. Please hold. Yeah, here we go.
And here I am at the Starship factory. It's Starbase, Texas, right by the Rio Grande. You can see the barrel sections of Starship being built. These are 9-meter barrel sections, or 30 feet in diameter. And those are the nose cones. This is the largest flying object ever made. It has twice.
That's pretty neat. I don't know why he's echoing so hard, dude. But yeah, it's double audio for some reason. Sorry about that. This is what I'm talking about, man. This is why, you see what I'm seeing here? You guys seeing what I'm seeing? This is why I ain't worried about Block 2. I don't think you guys should worry about it. I think it'll be fine. It's the cathedral of engineering. Alrighty then. Like that? When is Everyday Astronaut releasing his Star Factory tour? I don't know, man. Why would I know that? Hey, Tor, why are you asking me? Do I look like my name is Tim Dodd, the occasional Astro Boy? All right, Ace. Please don't do that again. I mean, we both know that I can't do that. I can't promise. What I can promise is that I will take very good care of that little video. I'm sorry, chat. Could you trouble me for a glass of warm milk? It helps me get to sleep. You could trouble me for a warm glass of shut the hell up. Now you will go to sleep, or I will put you to sleep. Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma. Anyway, sorry. I'm getting really tired. I'm getting really... It's bad. So, yeah, these shots of Star Factory are really good. Tim Dude, the occasional astronaut? Yeah, he's pretty cool. Yeah, I like him. Meatbag, I like watching your streams, but I don't understand much about rockets. Is that where they make the rockets more pointy? Yes. This is, in fact, where the pointing... That is the pointiness line, Meatbag. This is where they make the rockets pointy to instill fear into their enemies.
Ultimately,
Any idea about that stainless steel details? I work in a mill. It's 304X stainless, K. It is a custom alloy that's particularly suited for spacecraft applications, but it is a derivative of 304 stainless. That's what they started with back in the day, dude. Is that sufficient information? It might be 39's nose cone. I'm going to guess that that's 39's nose cone back there. 304X or still 304L. Yeah, exactly. They started with 304L, and now 304X is their custom alloy because SpaceX has a whole metallurgy team doing metallurgy things. How much Dayquil and coffee are we on today? I've lost count. Look at all the damn barrel segments, dude. And this is just a small bit of Star Factory. That's what's crazy to me about this. Look, there's header tank fabrication right there. That's ship header tank fabrication, I should say. This is only the ship line, guys. This is not even the booster line. Booster? Booster where? Some of it is ship. Those header tanks, Ryan. That's all ship right there. Unless I took too much Robitussin, man, which is very, very much a possibility. That's all ship header tanks right there, right? And obviously that's not the booster. Obviously, that's not the booster line for sure. That's the jig for making nose cones right there, which is pretty sick. Hello, just got home. Still no Elon speak? No. This has got to be ship stuff here. I mean, dude, I'm just kind of theory crafting here. But if header tank production is right there, I'm going to go ahead and guess that that's payload-based stuff down in here. But I don't know, man. I would love to see the setup. But I'm not cool enough to get in there. There are ring sections that are interesting. Dude, there's all kinds of good goodies up in here, man. I don't know about you, dude. I love the tooling. Look at the jig tooling right there. That's pretty impressive, dude. Where is this? Sorry, Caps. This is Starbase. Elon posted this video last night from balcony overlooking the production floor for Star Factory. This is all Starship parts, dude. Like, so if you're wondering, you want to get your bearings, if you notice the wall kind of curves right there, Highway 4 is right here. Highway 4 is right out those windows. This is just one small part of Star Factory, guys. I'm going to go ahead and say that this is probably ship right here, but I don't know for sure. It's a factory building spaceships. A new factory building spaceships, which is cool. Have you asked? It might just work. You know, I've never done that. I've never done that. I've never bothered to ask. I don't like asking. I like getting asked to do stuff, but does Elon watch the stream? I highly doubt that. Like I said, man, I ain't cool enough for that. Can I ask you to ask? Yeah, but I'll say no. Damn. This is absolutely nuts, dude. Okay, I'm telling you to ask. What to do? You're not my dad. I know your dad. Yeah, so? I mean, EJ Merch has been spotted in Starbase. Yeah, that's right, it has, which is just crazy to me. New Dawson Jack factory tour. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. EJ logos all over W Place too. I check Discord DMs. What's on your mind? Yeah. Brian, can I show that? Can we show that? Is this fair? Like, who made this image? Who made the image, man? I want to give credit where credit is due. That's my thing. I don't, we don't Sudora people around here. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Base sites!
Discovery, go at throttle up.
No way, Booms. That's awesome. Yeah. See, dude, it was just this small area. Oh, my goodness. Starbase tracking Figma. Okay. Cool. Where can I buy your merch? My merch is on Redbubble. Boop. There you go. How far behind is the New Glen factory compared to this? I'd say the New Glen factory is about the same. Yeah, it's just this area over here in Elon's vid. Thank you to SBT for that. I appreciate that. We don't want to. I always try to give credit anytime I show anybody's picture on here. Either that or I do that going and asking thing, which is. I know that seems like a hard sell for some out there. Anyway. So Elon also posted this, if, hold on. He also posted this if, you like Starship. Yep, baby. Robert's Road is going to be bigger than that. Yep. You just see a little bit of the injector, as a treat. Dude, if I'm ever terminally ill and it's for sure I'm gone, I want to be right here when this thing goes off. I want to be right there. Just, that would be awesome for maybe a second. And then it wouldn't be awesome right after that. Yeah, it'd be really awesome for a second, and then it wouldn't be awesome after that. Come a long way. Yeah, that's right, Lumprod, right? Begins from losing. Okay. It would be for 1 second. Yep. What is the Central European Standard Time, ETA? I don't know. I have no idea. Ish. Here, look at that. 2 hours and 15 minutes out. Pope Vent's going hard, though. So what's going on here? I don't think you're accounting for that 10 seconds of DSS and deluge. No, it'll be fine. So what this means is that SpaceX is chilling down all the pipes on the pad. You're moving around cryogenic propellant. So they use liquid methane and liquid oxygen, amongst other things. There are also other commodities that Starship needs, like nitrogen and other pneumatic systems, right? But the principal things that they're moving around is hydrogen, liquid methane, and liquid oxygen. And in order to do that, even though it is kind of cloudy, it gets really freaking warm in southern Texas right now. Pretty much any time. So you don't want to go flowing extremely cold propellants, liquid methane and liquid oxygen, which exist as liquids at really, really low temperatures. You don't want to go pumping those through a warm pipe or else they'll evaporate. So what they do is they have circulation systems that chill down the pipes. They basically trickle feed the propellants into the lines that go up, all the way up into the pad. They're trickle feeding them just to get them to the right temperature so you can flow. Every time you got to start making sure the pad systems are working. Then you got to start making sure you could pump the fuel. And then you got to chill down the lines that go to the pad. And once you chill down the lines that go to the pad, well, the lines that go up into the pad, you got to chill those down too. And then once those are good to go, then you can start fueling. The ship will cool off on its own. And then the ship needs to chill down the engines before they turn the engines on. This is a lengthy process that has lots of steps, and that's why they're starting to do it, even though we're 2 hours and 13 minutes out. I asked them to serve as ballast in the form of a small amount of ashes. Got an acknowledgement reply, but they usually let outfits like Celestius do stuff like that. Nah, that's dumb. We call it the Pope vent because it looks like the vent. Oh boy. It looks like the vent at the Vatican. That's all. It's pretty popers. No, not Pog. Ryan, should we tell someone about this or? Okay. I think they figured it out. They know. Yeah. Looks like we got a little picture of the Australian cam there, mate. That was the view from Queensland right there. It's the view from the Sunshine Coast, mate. Oh man, yeah, the bunker vent's really going now. That was almost as bad as crooked trailer cam. Yeah, I know, Mutter. Who would shimmy the trailer up crooked? Only some total butthole would do that. Wyoming coast view. Man, you guys are never gonna let Adrian live that one down. Holy balls. Didn't know they had a camera in Australia, mate. Yeah, me neither. Now they do. Yeah, you just saw it. You saw it for a second. I don't think they're gonna bring it back there, mate. What's the helo? That is doing perimeter security, Kenwa. There's 2 helicopters out there doing security. There is a red one and a blue one. I don't know what their names are, but I'm calling them Tucker and Simmons. How's the progress on Tower 2? Pretty good. Tucker with T. Wyoming coast is a funny idea, but how was that idea born? I've heard that a couple times. Adrian said it by accident on stream. Wyoming is landlocked, unless you count the pool of lava that is sitting underneath it. In which case it has a coastline. The coastline is just down. Mi no entiende reference. No me gusta la ensalada pica. Just 2 more hours, bro, please. Please, bro. Hey, Thick, what's going on? Could you tell NSF that they should start bullying Ship 27 and that they should add it to the next space flight? Nah, I'm good. Understandable. Yeah. Donde que el metro. You know, okay, your mind is messing with you. Run! Get to the chopper! Run! No comprendo pigeon. No comprendo. Lo siento. Sí, sistema métrico es el mejor. Sí. Mucho queso. Oh, look, the Australia cam is back, mate. Look at that one. It's upside down. Look at this one. We got to wrestle it back to being right side up there, mate. Ah, look at that. This is what Australians see when they go to Starbase, mate. Look at that. That blade of grass really is moving around a lot there. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try to jam my thumb in his butthole. What? Oh, never mind. Yeah, they cut it. That was weird. Why would they cut it right after that was said? What? What is wrong with you? A lot of things. Yeah, Enzo, I mean, it's a thing for sure. What part of Dundee was that from? Yes. Did we just learn something new about you? No. Ah, crikey, he's really pissed off now. Some people got the reference. Now I understand why predominant is so weird. Yeah. Yeah, Max, yeah, no false statements were detected there. That's not a knife. That's a knife, mate. And anybody that's watching from Australia has promptly left the stream. Hey, Wasp, what's going on? I just got back, so it might have been discussed, but I was wondering, why is the helicopter sitting for so long idling? They're fueling it. They're refueling the dang thing. That's why it's just chilling. Hey, pump the brakes, kid. That man's a national treasure. You about to cross some freaking lines. Do we know why the camera's upside down? You know, I don't, actually. Ryan, do they, oh, all right, there we go. You might be able to get some Australian cam, more Australian cam a little bit later, you know, as a treat. They know. Yeah. So, Ryan, I have another question. Do they know why that camera is upside down? Or did someone put it in upside down? Because I think someone may have put the camera in upside down. You laugh, but until they build the Australian starbase, y'all Americans are going to have to tilt your heads. Yeah. All right, cool. Or someone skilled to capture negatively. Yeah. All right, so what they're doing, like I said, they're chilling down everything on the pad. So okay, professional time. They're chilling down everything on the pad. Are you saying you installed it upside down? I didn't do that. I haven't been down there in months. They're chilling down all of the fueling paraphernalia for the vehicle. Roadblock is currently in place. Weather is about 55% probability of go, which means we got above a 50% chance of a flight today. I saw that you have a Minecraft server in your web. Is that a thing? Yes. Still a thing. Good work on starting the stakeout stream so early. Thanks, Home Planet. Yeah. How come we can feel planes and helis on the move while running, but God forbid we do it to a car and all hell breaks loose? I don't know. I put gasoline in a car while it was running, not at a gas station. We all know that it just falls down, and that's why they can't control it now. Well, yeah, of course they can't control it. The computer controls it, hostages. Do you need to be rescued from the dumb people? A hostage has been rescued. Counter-terrorists win. Oh, my friend. Oh, my friend. Let's tostitos, Alison. Huh? All right, let's get the heck out of here. Okay, let's go. Counter-terrorists lose. Counter-terrorists win. Oh, there we go. The Bell 419 is taken off, and suddenly I feel the need to play CCR. Bow now, 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 bow now. Some folks are born made to wave the flag. Ooh, the red, white, and blue. I'm not sure, dude. Exclamation point MC. You have to whitelist yourself in the Discord. Just that's to prevent griefing, and then you should be able to. And you have to be following for 3 months to jump into the community server. Now please do Airwolf. Your doctor told you that your prostate was good. You were deeply touched. I don't know what kind of relationship you have with your doctor, Edmana, but I'm sure if it's working for you, just, keep doing your thing, man. Yeah, Cosmic. I'm sure we're screwed. Yep. What's the difference between diesel and gasoline engines? A spark plug, Enzo. $50 if you can make it to the launch without another reference. All right, I'll take that bet. Last, please. Repost. Can we check out the Timberborn update while we wait? No. Hey, EJ, I have a question. Could a rocket engine work with gasoline? Yeah, you might get some detonation with gasoline ram a lot. That's the reason why they use jet fuel. RP1, like the fuel that Falcon 9 uses, is a highly refined version of kerosene. They're basically doing that to resist detonation waves inside of the rocket engine. Same reason you use high-octane gas in a car engine. They're using very high-octane stuff. So you could make it work with gasoline, but I'd be worried about hard starting the engine. I'd be worried about detonation. Yes, you can get quote-unquote rod knock with a rocket engine, but rod knock with a rocket engine means it just blows up. It will knock once, yeah. I mean, once again, you could optimize around a gasoline engine, but you'd be constricted on performance. It's much better to use diesel fuel or kerosene, something that's a little bit higher octane. Does the Minecraft server have any mods? I don't know, Aitor. I forget. It's been such a long time. I don't think it does. I am the one who knocked. Gasoline, probably. You dick. Now I lost $50. Well, that didn't work. Does it count if chat does it? If chat does it, that doesn't count. I want a do-over. I want a damn do-over. This is bullcrap. I was just reading chat. No, 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 no. This is my stream. This is my stream. I get a do-over. Chat influenced me. That was not fair. No do-overs. It's my stream. I can have as many do-overs as I want. You would have failed later anyways? Oh. Curtis with a 4-pound super chat. At least this helps me get into my night shift routine. Right on, man. Your lack of self-control isn't our fault. Bro, try doing what I do for this long, okay? Try it. You couldn't do what I do. Try it. No, I'm not doing it again. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Nope. It's because you're a smelly butthole, Ando. You can take a mulligan. I don't want the $50 anyway. I don't want it. I don't want it anymore. I'll make more moves. I'm just gonna reference even harder now. What's Twitch chat up to now? Just making me feel bad about things, Cheeseburger. It's really kind of messed up. You know, I don't get that in YouTube chat. They don't do that over there. Want me to go over there? No. No, it's good. No, it's good. Please don't go over there and make me feel bad 2 times over. Please don't do that. No, there you go, Goat Man. Right on. Oh. Hell, man, I can't believe you did that. You're an awful. You're bad. You're bad people. Stop doing that. All right, we're inside of 2 hours here for flight 10. Hopefully, we start seeing some action soon. Yeah, it's great, Amanda. Yeah, I'm really happy about that. Sure about that?
Discovery, go and
I'm
throttle
pretty
up.
sure. Art, 29-month resub. What's a gas bill on a full Starship? Nachos, it's not as much as you might think. I'd say for something like Starship, probably $500,000. Yeah, that number will go down once SpaceX has their own air separator on site. But yeah, it's probably about $500,000 to fill something like that up. Now does 500,000 sound like a lot? Yeah. Is it a lot to you and me? Yes, absolutely. Is that nothing for SpaceX? Correct.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Yeah, Logan, that's what I do, man. I think I did on the Starbase Stakeout stream. I think I did one plug. I did one plug, and I did it when it felt right. And a lot of people bought stuff. That's weird. Pretty good. Did you see it? I mean, go look at the bot. It was popping off, man. It's weird how that works. You got to time it. You got to time it right. I was trying to make sure everything kind of fit together. I was stringing together questions that were trying to keep the conversation coherent. That's what I do when I host. I'll admit it is a lot of work, and I may have overexerted myself a little bit, which is why I'm like Looney Tunes right now. But yeah, Logan, I tried to. One hell of a host. Oh, thank you. I try to make it fun, you know. I try to make it fun, you know. Talking about, I tried to, you know, give Max some crap when talking about his picture and Tyler and everybody. You know. No. Think we'll be fine. We'll be fine. How does Starblaze Live look now that you have a 4K monitor? I can see every blade of grass. It's great. But yeah, even the questions and the support queue, I try to string it together. Like, if people ask a bunch of questions,
Discovery,
I'm,
go at throttle up.
and that, dude, I don't know if you guys were there when Alex and Ryan were talking. They were talking about the Pope vent turning on, and then I pop back in. I'm like, hey, the Pope vent turned on. And they're like, dude, we just said that. I'm like, hey, what I was trying to do is string together a bunch of questions that kind of fed one into the other into the queue. So it makes a conversation and not just Q&A. That's what I was trying to do. Ryan, I don't know if you're still here. That's what I was doing when I was like, hey, the Pope vent turned on. I got a star on the fridge. Yay. You know? That's what I was doing. I'm like, I'm stringing the questions together. And you guys stop talking. I'm like, hey, the Pope vent. Damn it. I was trying, man. I got a good star. Man, it was working for a little while. Emotional crap. No, I didn't finish it. Doesn't count. Doesn't count, baby. Boom. Doesn't count. Didn't finish it. You know, I'm starting to think that I don't do the references. I just read chat and I get the references that chat makes. I'm starting to think you guys do the references. Not me. Nope, doesn't count. Doesn't count. Doesn't count. Nope, it's all chat. Am I out of touch? No, surely the chat is wrong. It's a feedback loop. Ugh. Wait, hold on. I'm directing the cringe away from me and I'm gonna direct it towards Mr. Yak. Hold on one second.
I'm just saying.
What did Jack just say? Hold on. Adrian, hello?
A lot of people were asking in chat, is ongoing and
You just realized that you referenced The Simpsons? This is hard for me, okay? This is really difficult. This is a lot tougher than I thought it would be. I'll admit it. This is a lot tougher than I thought. I may have underestimated the difficulty of this challenge. Yeah. Yep. Do you follow Andy Diderossi? Yes, I want that fury, Steve. I want that fury. I need that fury. I need that fury in my life. Do we know what yesterday's problem on GSE was? Yes, Isaac. They sprung a leak on the ship. Quick disconnect. It started leaking locks overboard. Yeah, not great. Damn it! I stopped. That was not acceptable, Robert. Man, this is tough. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can do this. I should just come on and do all the references for you. Yeah. I will concede. Mutter, how do you want your $50? I could probably do it if I wasn't dead tired and sick. How about this? Minus $1 for every reference. Dude, I'm already like 10 in the hole. This sucks. Starting now? Okay. Real, are you going to cover the 3 Tomex Plus rockets tonight from Wallops? Bad chance, dude. Real, I'm not feeling too good. I am hopped up on a crazy amount of stuff right now. Like Dayquil, Sudafed. I got cough drops out the wazoo. Coffee, water. I'm like chugging orange juice every break to get that vitamin C to try and get it to go away. Like I am hopped up more that like I seem okay, but I am going to crash and burn whenever that happens. I'm going to crash and burn, and it's going to be bad. Did Starship scrub or something? No. Better than having cough drops up your nose. You know, that's... All right, that's fair. I kind of wanted to see... I don't know if it's... I don't think it's the Ronies, dude. I just, why does it just stop with Adrian closed, mid-eye closed? Get that off the screen. Go away. Why so much citrus? I drink vitamins. I get a lot of vitamin C when I don't feel good. I drink a lot of OJ. Drink a lot of orange juice and chicken noodle soup. Do you think Starship will crash and burn? No. I'm getting all the crashing and burning out of my system right now.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Be well.
All right. I will. Thank you. Thanks for the 50. Hey, outdoorsman, try some chlorophyll. More like chloroseptic. That's what you used. Be well, that was totally a Demolition Man reference? No. Zinc 2. Yeah, no, ARJ, I'm going ham on this. Okay, update on your K24 outdoorsman. Yeah. Okay, O2 sensor is causing misfires. We'll replace tomorrow, waiting on the part. P22195. Also, what's our vector, Victor? I don't know. We need the clearance, though. All right. Yo, I'm not doing it. All right. I have to switch off the reference switch, okay? I have to do that in my mind. Give me 1 second. I got this. You can do this. Remember? No. I'm not remembering those. We don't need those. Also, the BTS cam is broke. Yeah, that happens. How broken is it? Oh, it's just got the Scarface. We are still looking good for a launch. Weather is 50. There, SpaceX is 55% go. Here we are again. Congrats on 4,000 YouTube subs. Thanks, Pat. No, they have not scrubbed. I would be gone and asleep, Pat, if that was the case. Hang on. Ryan, are you still out there? I want to tell chat what Jack just said in the... Oh dear. Jack is also tired. Yep, okay. Yeah. Jack forgot that Neil Armstrong passed away on the main NSF stream. So, I thought I was having a bad day, making sure that I, not putting movie references in because I'm tired, and that's how I communicate when I'm tired. I think Jack's having a worse day. I think Jack is also very tired. Yeah. I think he's also very tired. Yep. Yeah. By the way, nice Finnish reference this morning on Stakeout. I should have asked if they won the race lately. Dude, I was like, I know what you're doing, and I'm not saying that on stream. I'm not saying that on there. I don't know if they'll be okay with that. It's been 13 years. It has been 13 years. You know what I asked in the back channel, guys? I would say, wait, are we dogpiling on Jack? Can I help? That went over real well. Only when you're tired? Don't say this to me. Is there a video that explains the mission? Emo, yeah, sorry, I was gonna do that. So this is Flight 10. Flight 10 is another test that SpaceX is going to run in a rapid succession of tests to try and get the Starship system up and running. Okay. Now, do you want to know what this particular thing is going to do, or just the test as a whole? Because there are test flight objectives here. I mean, getting off the pad, obviously, that's a big one. Flying up into space, staging, that's a big one. Now, they're not going to catch the booster this time. They are going to expend it. So the booster will be used to test an emergency engine out scenario, to test what happens if like an engine fails right when they're going for a catch. They're going to do that out in the ocean. So, they don't risk the pad or anything. But the real test here, Emo, is they really need to get some data on that ship. We really need a nice nominal ascent here. That's what SpaceX is really pining for. Getting that ship up into space, getting it in a good orbit, testing payload deploy. They have a bunch of what's called dumb links, which are prototype Starlink satellites, but it's just the chassis. They're going to try to deploy them out of Starship's payload bay. And then to do that, you got to open its payload bay doors, send the satellites out, and then close it. After all that, they're going to do an on-orbit Raptor in-space Raptor relight, testing the restart capability of Raptor engines in space. And then, after all of that, they're looking to get a good EDL from Starship. Now, what's EDL? Entry, descent, and landing. Meaning that Starship is going to come down, go through re-entry, do its flip, do its burn, turn its engines back on, and try and basically land out off the coast of Australia. These Starship flights do not go full orbital. They're still on a suborbital trajectory even at the end of ascent. The reason why is because, well, SpaceX has had some issues in the past with, starships that have basically lost attitude control in space. They want to make sure that everything works and everything jives correctly on the ship before they put one up in space and, run the risk of stranding it in orbit. You do not need something as big as Starship floating around up there. Starship is gigantic. It is a huge piece of equipment, and you do not want that huge piece of equipment becoming a huge uncontrollable piece of debris up in space. So these tests are done on a suborbital trajectory. It's just a very, very, very eccentric suborbital trajectory, meaning they're almost into space, but they're not there. They get like 98% of the way there. It is enough to simulate a good re-entry from low Earth orbit. That's really where they need to get their testing done today. That's really what they're jonesing for. They got to get some data on those tiles. Hey, Jensen, 17-month resub. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Baron, how you doing? Fizz, no, we don't say the S word in here unless it's supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Something. Yeah, you could say that word. No signs yet. We're 55% go currently right now. Did you see that they're going to bring back Apollo 13 to IMAX for its 30th anniversary? No, but that's cool. What's bigger, Starship or a Long March 5 core? Long March 5 is about as tall as the whole stack of Long March 5 is about as tall as Starship. Starship, not super heavy. A whole Long March 5 top to bottom would be about here to here. Yeah, Starship is gigantic. Said, hey, shout out to you. Oh. How come they want to land it in the Indian Ocean and not the Hawaiian Missile Range? Probably so that it doesn't go over the shipping lanes in the South China Sea. That's my guess, but I don't know for sure. We need an eye tracker to highlight if EJ's looking at YouTube or Twitch chat. Over there, if you see me look this way, you see me look stage right, your left, that's Twitch. If you see me looking over here, stage left, your right, I'm looking at YouTube. That's always been my shtick. That's why I put both of them on either screen, so you can see what I'm looking at by where I'm turning my head. That was at least the intention there. Yeah, well, Leon, we don't want that. We're currently T-minus 1 hour and 35 minutes. We're 95 minutes out from some action if it happens today. So in about 20 minutes, we should get the go, no go poll for fueling. The weather is a watch item. It's not looking too great out there today, guys, but we'll see. Ready for round 2? Of course, Rudy. I'm ready. You ready? I'm ready. Are you good? Those clouds don't look too appealing, dude. Especially those guys over there. You see that? You see those guys? Those guys are... I mean, that's a good distance away. That's on South Padre Island, easily. Might even be on North Padre Island. But that's those don't look too good. Top left is some of the high-density housing that's under construction. Yes, Iger. Mm-hmm. This is housing. SpaceX is building high-density and medium-density housing right there. Are we having a second launch? Think so. Radar's looking nice and clean, Cody. Okay, cool. Would you rather ride on a Starship or a Saturn V? At this particular moment in time, I would take a Saturn V. Thanks for explaining the secret of chat code looks. Sure. Cloud Schmouds, light the candle. What's up, Greg? How you doing? Civics had a 14-monther in there. Thank you very much, Civics. I appreciate you, buddy. We should start seeing the ship quick disconnect vent and the booster quick disconnect vent. They should be turning on soon. Once the go no go for fueling happens. You see the stuff built for you on W Place? Check out Discord for a link. I've seen it in Mena. Yeah, people have showed me. Is T0 too early for Night Lightning? I think we'll be okay, Helsinki. Yeah. So no Elon update. Nope. We know he's down there, and that's about it. You helped on the one at the Cape, actually. Right on. See, man, I was actually kind of wondering, would Raptors be a good replacement for shuttle engines for a shuttle stack in today's modern era? Maybe the vacuum Raptors, maybe, but you're going to have to go redesigning your external tank. Side note, will you be playing some more Hearts soon? Yes. W Place is a map of the world, Dean, where you can draw pixel art on. People draw pixel art. It's only going to be there for a limited time. But people draw pixel art on top of like a map of the entire world. You do be looking a bit good. Come on, Jeff. You got out of work early. Glad I did not miss it. No, Aitor, I didn't. I don't go on W Place. I don't do that. Everything I've heard about that, I've heard through osmosis via you guys. Our stream this week, George, I want to. Yeah. Let's say everything goes according to plan on today's flight. Would we assume at this moment that all these fails were due to Elon playing politics and ignoring SpaceX? No. No, not at all, Wolian. They're teething problems. They redesigned the entire ship. I know Block 2 and Block 1 ships don't visually look that different.
Discovery,
but they redesigned them. They redesigned all the plumbing. It's totally different. The failures that there have, if anything, guys, and this is not me trying to run cover for SpaceX, these things did blow up. And while SpaceX is using an iterative design philosophy here, explosions are explosions, right? Like, personally, I don't think that's really that big of an issue because of the iteration, but people seem to think it's a big problem. Wolian, I think that SpaceX's problems, or seeming problems, like of not getting a gas diffuser to work correctly, or propellant vibrations, harmonic resonance in the lines on Flight 7. I think those are way more of a byproduct of trying to scale up production. People are going to say, oh, SpaceX has QC problems. They have QC problems. Well, yeah, of course they have QC problems. When you try to go from building one Starship a year to like 20 a year, you're going to scale up immensely. That's a lot of new people to hire. That's a lot of new people to train. That's really important to understand that. Scaling takes time and it's difficult. And SpaceX is trying to keep the factory open while scaling at the same time. That's a very difficult thing to do. You are going to run into some problems. And I think that more explains the Block 2 problems more than anything. I don't think it has anything to do with Elon playing politics at all. Appreciate the multi-stream, lurking in both and switching back and forth for reasons. All right, Cyberpunk. Yep. I think Block 3... So the other thing is that on Block 2, you see a lot of mitigations. SpaceX doesn't do mitigations. They don't do mitigations as their finalized fix. Mitigations happen in SpaceX rocket design when they have a fix coming down the pipe in the assembly line that hasn't been made yet. I think all of the weird problems that they've had with Block 2, like Raptor leaking, for instance, are problems that are fundamentally addressed on Raptor 3. SpaceX themselves has said that Raptor 3 is designed to just leak. It's designed to deal with the leaking passively, rather than have a fire suppression system built into the aft section of Starship, right? I think very much that the fixes for Block 2 are coming down the proverbial assembly line at Star Factory. And that most of the fixes for it, not mitigations, are coming in the form of Block 3. But that's just my opinion. I can't really prove that until Block 3 flies. Why does it even have the leaking problem in the first place? They haven't used it in a little while, Cat. That's the truth. Does this thing, when this thing takes off, does it register on earthquake monitoring? I believe that it does, Peter, yes. It is loud and it does shake the ground. Basically, they covered Endora and W place with a Gary's Mod void texture. That's weird. All right. That's right, Matt. That's correct. Raptor has always had a leaking issue due to its high operating pressures. That's right. And instead of trying to eliminate the problem wholly, Ryan, Raptor 3 is designed to leak. Not the first time that just having it leak passively has solved the problem. Lockheed did that with the SR-71. The SR-71 tanks leaked like a sieve when it was on the ramp. The reason why is because the tank tolerances were designed to deal with the thermal expansion associated with flying at sustained Mach 3. So the tank heats up and it expands and it seals. So because the plane, Ryan, you said it on Stakeout this morning. Planes don't like being down here. They like being up there. The worst place a plane can be is down here and sitting. That is like the worst thing that it can do. Moving the flanges should help a lot with the leak. Yep. I mean, it's going to make the motor, it's going to make Raptor 3 a little bit more difficult to service the engine. That thing's going to be a pain in the butt to take apart. I can already tell just because they eliminated most of the things that allow it to be able to be taken apart. Most likely, a bad Raptor will either be sent back to the factory and replaced just because they make a ton of them, or they'll just get rid of it. They'll just scrap it. They call it hangar rash. Ah, yeah. Bad news, boss. The plane stopped leaking. That is the current T0, Peter, which is targeting the top of the window. That's great, cheeseburger. Fueling, the go-no-go poll for fueling should start here in about 10 minutes. Serge, funny story. A crew chief dropped a pack of matches into a bucket of JP7 and it went out. Gasoline is not flammable. Most fuel isn't. It's the vapors that are flammable. What does the weather say? Weather's trending in the right direction, Joe. We'll see. Most fuels are not flammable by themselves. They need to atomize with oxidizer, and then they become very flammable. It's the vapors that'll get you, not the fuel itself. What? So why do we pour gasoline on fire? You don't, Sid, because if you pour gasoline on fire, you're introducing gasoline to the atmosphere and it's atomizing before it can put the fire out, and then you just made the fire worse. You put a road flare into JP8 to get it hot enough for us to do fire safety training. You know? Dean, what long-term studies have been done on ground soil compaction due to vibrations from rocket launches? I'm sure there's a study out there, dude. I'll bet you NASA has a technical report for it. I can't think of anyone offhand. Not sure if you answered this recently, but are you considering playing KSP2 anytime in the near future? I'm never playing KSP2 ever again on stream, ever. Ever. KSP1? Sure. Absolutely. 2? No. Absolutely not. Never. Still go for lunch? As far as I can tell, Remo, yeah. Dude, I'm not... What went down with KSP2 is not okay, and I will not play it.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
What happened, Curtis? It's dead. It's abandonware, dude. I don't even know who owns the rights to the Kerbal franchise, dude. I have no idea. Nah, Nader, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, Rudy, there's a slight possibility of a launch at the beginning of the window contingent upon the latest weather update regarding rain showers in the Matamoros area. Okay. What sci-fi ship rocket would you most like to see have a version made in real life? Pillar of Autumn? No, it's not even close. Dang, I didn't know that. I found you playing KSP1. Curtis, Take-Two Interactive shuttered the studio and the publishing company and sold the rights to the franchise. They washed their hands of it completely. It fired everybody at the studio, 70 people. We have the OLM vent. That's a good sign. So just waiting on the ship quick disconnect here, the SQD vent, which is up here. Once we start seeing that vent turn on, we should be good for... Yep, there it is. There it is. She's good. All right, we have SQD vent and BQD vent. That's really good. What they're doing now is, you see these white pipes right here? Those are the fuel and oxidizer lines. Those are actually them. You can see them. They're right there. Those are the fuel and oxidizer lines. This one is methane and that one is liquid oxygen. And they go, we're looking at a shot on the back of that thing. They go up and over and into the ship quick disconnect and then up into Starship. Chilling down these lines, it means that they're basically getting ready to go to fuel. Now, why do they vent? They vent the liquid oxygen. The methane gets recirculated. That's what that pipe is. See that smaller pipe right there? At least I think that's the recirc pipe. I could be wrong. I'm sure somebody knows this better than me. They vent liquid oxygen. They vent oxygen over because what they're doing right now is pumping liquid oxygen and liquid methane up the fuel and oxidizer lines to try and get them to cool down. Well, not try. They're getting them to cool down. They need these things cool. Because if they don't cool down and you try to pump the liquid fuel and liquid oxygen into them, which are cryogenic, they're really cold. Well, it's a warm pipe. Your propellants will evaporate. And if they evaporate in a line that's not vented, right, to give yourself a pneumatic vent, so a vent line, it'll pressurize and it'll pop like a balloon. You've essentially created a gas purge sound suppression system, but it'll pop instead. So you got to move fuel and oxidizer up these lines and you have to open vents. And basically what happens is when you pump the fuel up there, it is cooling down the pipe, but the propellant is evaporating and the evaporated stuff gets shot out these vents. This is a good sign because that means the lines are being primed to fuel Starship. Now the fueling pole should happen here in the next 5 minutes. If it does, these vents will go even faster. You'll see a much bigger cloud come out. And then fueling will start at, what is it, T minus... I'm not going to guess. I had it right. I was going to say 53 minutes. Dang, I had it right. I should have guessed. Dang. I still do find it weird that they just pulled the plug on KSP, but also it happened with a few other games at the same time. Yeah, it sucks, man. That's the business, dude. Imagine being in the blockhouse in LC-41 during a Starship launch. LC-41? Cloud cover is expected to potentially clear within the next 20 to 30 minutes. Team is go. All right, Rudy. Okay, man. Hey, Dean, check this out. Twitch chat went and found some technical reports stuff about exactly what you're talking about. Thanks, Hired. Appreciate that, man. The exact thing you're looking for. I figured you'd have said a Pelican. As for me, UD4 Cheyenne from the Alien series. I want the Pillar of Autumn, dude. I mean, I don't know. If we get the Pillar of Autumn, do Pelicans come in the package deal? If we accept the ship from Sci-Fi, right? Does that mean the complement on the ship comes with it? No. Dean, viewer in chat. Yeah. You want Spaceball 1? Nice. What Star Trek vessel do you like the most? I just like the Enterprise A, to be honest. I've been rewatching TOS. That's just venting. They just cut in the audio for the venting. Man, EJ's fan is really loud. Yeah, me and Ryan were talking about sci-fi ships. Made sure to mention the Shaw Fujikawa drive. Yeah, of course. And that was Starship Venting in E minor. You're listening to the sights and sounds of Starbase here on K154. All Starbase sounds all the time. Stay tuned, we got plenty more sights and sounds coming from Starbase. Word on the street, the sights and sound. We're taking it right to the launch pad here on K154. Sorry. Hits and quit digging, and now the IP to KSP is owned by an investment firm. Yeah, we don't know that for sure. The deal wasn't public. That's speculation, Xerax. Yeah. So now back to your regularly scheduled program. You want the Defiant because a Space A-10. Oh, yeah, of course. You're listening to Radio Cosmos. Now 6:15 p.m. Time for Booby Rod. That's not a reference. It's not a reference. That's not a movie quote. I guess we're going for fueling. The fueling pole, yeah. Pretty much. Nope, it was for movie quotes. You know what? You need your own radio channel in GTA 6. I do know people at Rockstar, Belk. I'm serious. Want to see? I know people. Yeah, I'm flexing. I don't care. Whatever. Hey, Tuggly Wuggly. Dude, where have you been? Long time. Used to watch you as a pubescent teenager. Now I'm 25 and having your first kid. Hope you're well. That's awesome, man. Congratulations. They did, Melba, yes. Thank you, Triceratops. Yeah, okay, Venator. Yeah, yeah, good call.
This is space.
Good call.
I'm in space.
Good call. Shirley Rocks gifted us up to Tuggly Wuggly. Well, congratulations, Tuggly, on your first kid. That's awesome. Good job. Wow, your English sounds great. Thank you. I could totally see you as a GTA character. Really? Is that a compliment or?
Discovery, go and throttle
Leg,
up.
90-month resub. Hello, fellow English speaker. I, too, am speaking English. Trevor? The SpaceX cast has been moved up to 6:43 Eastern Time. Not gonna lie, you could be the Trevor of GTA 6. Well, I did live in Florida for a little while. I'm too nice? Okay. Dominant, what's up, dude? You thought I was French? Really, Irwing? Do I give off French vibes? I don't know how to feel about that. What's with all the venting? Captain, they're cooling down the fuel lines, fuel and oxidizer lines that go to the ship. That's a good thing. All the vape clouds that we see. You give off French smells. No, I don't. Yeah, so what happens is when you move liquid oxygen through the lines have been sitting in the Texas sun all day, right? They're really warm. Liquid oxygen is really cold. When you move through, when you start moving them in to prime the lines to fill it up, it evaporates. So they have vent lines to make sure that it doesn't pressurize. You don't want it to pressurize. It'll geyser your liquid oxygen and it'll explode. You don't want that. That's bad. This is really tripping up here. I was in another stream. Oh, that was French. Ah, oui, monsieur. Oui, monsieur. Merci beaucoup. What is your favorite baguette? The one with cheese on it. Nader, I don't... That... Say what? I don't understand what that means. What's the deal when time works when engine is active in KSP? Did I miss a major update? I don't think there's been any updates to KSP 1 in years. Sorry, that was your fault. No problem. Yep. Tesla Max, real Red Panda. Yeah, you guys got it. Red, thank you for the raid a little bit earlier when I was doing the stakeout stream. I do appreciate you, buddy. Wait, why do we want EJ to stop quoting movies? Chat bet me $50 that I could make it to launch without doing one movie quote. In the time I lost a couple of times, but They consider it a trial period. And I'd say in the last, like, maybe 45 minutes, I've not made one. The Germans did something good. Yes, that is a color prominence. That's cool, Baron. Did SBL die? It's definitely not doing well, guys. It's not paused. You can still hear the sound. I grill with propane on my grill, please. Charcoal is just too messy. Do you know what they need to modify Starship to make it start transporting people? Well, first they gotta test it to make sure that it works before we put people on it, Irwin. Hey, Sea Kraken. What is a propane accessory, guy? I don't understand what that is. You take the propane tank, you hook it up to the regulator, and then you turn the grill on with the igniter. What is it? Is the grill an accessory? I don't know what you mean. Will the design change a lot? No, I don't think so, Airwing, to be honest with you. I think SpaceX is going to hone the design first. Like basically what they did with Falcon 9. Falcon 9 flew for 10 years before it flew people on it, right? They started flying it with uncrewed Dragon capsules. And then, you know, fairings, right? And then only after a really good amount of time did they put people on board that thing. I guess the tank counts. Yeah, sure. That works, yeah. What is the weather status? Give me 1 second, Neonix. I can get you an update here. Cloud cover is expected to potentially clear very soon. Team is go. There's a slight possibility of a launch from the beginning of the window, contingent upon the latest weather release regarding rain showers in the Matamoros area. So it's trending positively. Last official update that we got from SpaceX was 55% go. Now keep in mind, at this point in the count, it was like 45% go yesterday. So the clouds could clear up. That's entirely possible. How many AAA batteries does it take? Midship, it uses Tesla batteries, if you really want to know. Remember to use the launch stream pinned in chat. SBL is struggling because the assets are focused on the launch stream. Okay, I mean... Hello from Switzerland, by the way. Hello. Hello from the United States. I thought the weather was supposed to be worse today. It doesn't really seem as bad. I haven't seen any freak rainstorms show up, dude. A Threadripper might be good for running KSP Nestbabe, but I would ask chat before you ask me. Daveldot, is there a threshold on movie references? I've watched movies as far back as like...
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
I am stuck in your head now.
Why would you invoke the name of Polkasonic Metal Propulsion right now? Trey, all of your Rocket Club is watching you, all 63 of us. Oh, I don't like crowds. I don't really have too much to say, right? Well, what's that? Whoa! Are they gone? Gone? Alright, cool. Crispy said they've switched service to the mainstream, so FSBL might be a little bit unstable. Yeah, okay, cool. Anyway, tell all 63 people in your Rocket Club that I say hi individually, Trey. I need you to do that for me. Yep. Have fun with that. I'll see you in an hour. Yeah, the BTS cam is over there. Hi. Hey! Let me out! They got me stuck in here! Oh, I was here the whole time. All right. Is this weird enough for you? I know, Captain. Dude. I saw Flight 7. I saw the Flight 7 catch and the Flight 8 catch, and I still am, like, rationalizing what I saw in my mind. I'm like, huh. It did what? Oh. Not even close to weird enough? All right, cool. Sorry, just had a crap post in the NSF back channel. You should have Starbase Live on one of the monitors too. Not a bad idea, but... Alright, we're inside of 1 hour. Fueling, guys, on Starship should begin here in about 7 minutes. Polling seems to be go. They went into fast chill down on the lines. See how that quick disconnect vent and the ship quick disconnect vent are going over into overdrive, dude? That's what's going on. The fueling poll should be good. So we should enter ship fueling here. They will start with hold up. Ship fueling. Liquid methane load underway starts at T-minus 53. LOX load on the ship is 45. Booster fuel is 41. Booster LOX is 35. UT0 is 644 central. It got pushed. Okay, right as I said that, they pushed it. Nice. Sweet. Great time to do a time update, EJ. Sweet. You know, I was feeling it, and so were they, I guess. Why from top to bottom for fueling? My guess is it has to do with the flow rates, Apocalypse. I don't know for sure. I've never gotten an official answer from SpaceX, but I'm pretty sure they want the ship and the booster to fill up at the same time, right? They want to get them both 100% good to go right at the exact same time. And the flow rate to the ship is constricted because they have to pump it. Basically, they have to pump it up, I don't know, probably about 30 stories before they get to even the ship quick disconnect. So I think they're constricted on flow rate, but I don't know for sure, dude. That's just a guess. I mean, that was a guess. That seems like in the confines of physics, that seems okay. Like I think that's right, but I don't know. We don't know for sure. Jesse tweeted that they're keeping eyes on the weather. Yeah, I'll admit, top right doesn't look too good. Keeping our eyes on the weather. Okay. So, like, exactly like in Satisfactory, you need inline pumps to keep the load height. All systems, if I had to guess, I don't think they have an inline pump to keep head pressure up the line. What I think is they have a ton of powerful pumps to create that kind of head pressure, because when you're pumping liquid up 30 freaking stories, dude, what happens is the pumps will struggle because they have 30 stories of methane pushing back on the pumps. It creates great head pressure down low, so you get good pressure in the pipe down low, but not so much up high. You need really, really powerful pumps to overcome that. We know that the pad has a really nice array of pumps, but even with all that power, you're still struggling to overcome gravity. So I believe their flow rate to the ship is constricted. It's still really freaking quick. I mean, Starship, guys, the upper stage of the Starship transportation system, this part up here, that thing is as big as most rockets flying. That Starship is as tall as a Falcon 9 or a Vulcan or an Atlas or Delta IV Heavy. That is the same height. So like if you looked at a Delta IV Heavy, it would be from here to about there. That is insane. That's insane. Like, the Starship is gigantic. The size cannot be understated. And they're still fueling this ship up in less than an hour. It holds a lot of fuel and oxidizer, man. What are the main objectives and secondary ones for this mission? Quentin, the main objective is to get up there unscathed. Get up there and come back down with the ship unscathed, I would say, is your good mission objective. Secondary objectives include a Raptor relight on orbit, payload bay door opening, payload bay dispenser testing in the form of deploying some basically chunks of metal that are shaped like Starlink satellites. So they have to get the thing up there, open up the payload bay door, dispense some of the dud satellites, close the payload bay door, relight the Raptor on orbit, and then go through entry, descent, and landing. And then hopefully we get Ship 37 splashing down in the Indian Ocean off the coast of Northwest Australia for potential recovery operations. Potential. I don't know if that part's true or not. I've heard whispers here and there that they might try to tow the ship to Australia for inspection, but I don't know for sure. That's just a rumor. It's speculative. Don't think of it as news. Would it be crazy to put the methane in a water tower to have gravity help feed it a bit? You got to pump it up the water tower anyway, dude. All right, I'm switching over. Until the Spacex cast comes, I'm switching over to... we'll switch over to NSF's launch coverage. Put that in there like that. Put that in there like that. Put that in there like that.
Sky, fingers crossed, those continue to grow as well. And of course, the support.
But it'll be upside down.
To flow
as long as it's intact, dude, we good.
Has done 100 more for Red Team member. That's 200 Red Team memberships this stream, and this is the second stream for this launch. This is the second attempt for this launch. We of course do our stakeout stream earlier in the day as well. Noel J, you are going absolutely berserk.
It's EJ. It must be true. Technically, it's true.
Just imagine.
It must be true. You know, dude. I'm not a rocket scientist, but I play Kerbal Space Program, and you know, if it works in Kerbal, it works in real life. Right. I'm going to tweet that you said they're going to recover Ship 37 intact. Dean, why? Your YouTube chat. You guys are supposed to be the sane ones here. Okay? You're supposed to be the sane ones. Why are you doing that? Why would you do
Playback
this?
we had there. Jesse's becoming a Capcom member, different Jesse to Jesse Anderson. Him become with the T-minus 60 minutes.
Hey, is that
Super
producer
chat. Thank
Ryan
you so
Kate?
much for the support. And we also have F6B with the support as well. Thank you so much. We couldn't do this stuff without you. We showed you earlier all of the different sites we've got running. Cameras across South Texas. We couldn't do it without the support.
SMH my head thinking either chat are the same ones. It's all about relativity, Enco. Okay? It's relative sanity, alright? I am relatively sane. Compared to... You know, that was a good train of thought, but... Nope. To chat. Yeah. 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 Relative to... I was going to say relative to your mom, but that just proves your point. But, you know... Is that a taco truck? Oh, let's go! Heck yeah, man. Now I'm hungry.
They still have not even loaded Propellant, right? Once they go into Propellant load, they have another hold point at the T-minus 40-second mark where they can hold for another 15, 20 minutes. So they even have that, of course. And so they're just gonna give it a chance. They have the rocket ready, the tank farm is ready.
There's also another consideration there for sure.
I think it got buried.
So yesterday we had a few hours of chill down. Like they used some nitrogen.
Now we know where Jack
yesterday,
is.
for
Yes.
sure.
Yep. It's Mr. Map.
Probably
Yep.
quite a bit. If they, once they start through loading, like actual full-on loading, and they load.
Is that a movie
they will
reference?
run
It is
through
not.
Way more nitrogen, way more oxygen, and way more methane.
I like food
I
trucks.
feel I know the tank farm has quite a capability, but especially with the nitrogen, they might run, if they go through a full flow today, into a situation where they have to, for example, consider can they do another attempt tomorrow if weather doesn't permit. There will be considerations, all of that go through their mind right now. They won't just blindly load and with that ruin their chance to go tomorrow. They want to have a good chance. And
Food truck's good. Semi-truck's
I
bad.
would be feeling very confident
Speaking from
that
experience, I
if
see,
they
Pie.
don't go today, we would see at least
Sounded
an army
suspicious.
of tankers tonight that goes to this.
I can
tank
be
farm
original, dang
to
it!
replenish
I
the
swear!
nitrogen. Because this chill down, like hours and hours of chill down and cycling for all the system, you're running through quite some nitrogen.
I'll admit, I'm really happy that I got second wind right when I took the bet for the second time, dude. I got second wind. Good stuff.
"24 hours whilst they recycle from yesterday's unsuccessful."
Yeah, and that's one of the things, right? That, you know, one of the advantages of yesterday's launch attempt is that they only had loaded a little bit of propellant, and they can drain it back. It's not that they boil it off entirely. Like they don't let it vent and just escape the tanks or anything like that through the vents. They reclaim as much as they can, just running the same process of loading, but in reverse, essentially. And the whole thing with that is, it's true that some of it gets lost to boil off, the oxygen mainly, but it's just a little bit. And the less of that oxygen that they load into the vehicle, even less that gets lost to that boil off. And so that's one of those things that they also had an advantage with yesterday's attempt. Usually, now that they have upgraded the launch tank farm and things like that, they have new systems since a few flights ago. They already have the capability to be able to do a 24-hour turnaround, even if they go to the end of the window. Not the end of the window, the end of the countdown, excuse me. So if they go through the entirety of the countdown sequence, they
just crap
fully load the
posting
rocket, and they
the NSF
consume
back
all
channel
of these
again.
different
Sorry.
consumables and everything.
Brings me great
Since
joy.
they can replenish, they can reclaim some of it and then replenish during those 24 hours. they can do an attempt 24 hours after. So yesterday, that was probably not a big of a deal in terms of the tank farm systems.
Indeed. I'm just looking at those clouds behind Starship there. I can't tell if it's just like a gap in the clouds or if it's actually kind of looking.
Yeah, guys.
So
I don't know if we're
Yes.
gonna.
I'm not sure.
There it is.
oh,
the problem
man,
we
that
are
is
really
a
right
lot
now
of
having
moisture.
is, if I see this correctly, and then Adam in the back channel can correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like the clouds are a bit stable. Like it's not really completely being blown away, which of course is not great if you're in a situation when you're waiting for the weather. We are at the point where the last time we were,
Launch site is right
they
here,
came
guys.
the
Right where the
came the
mouse
delay,
cursor is.
like right about now, and oh, ha.
That's some brilliant timing from there, Adrian.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They
So
pushed it
we have
back
another
again.
delay. SpaceX has just adjusted the T-minus clock to now 59 of the hour. So that is, oh god, local time. Is it 6:59? I'm sorry.
Yeah, 6:59.
Yeah,
did it.
6:59. 6:59. New T0. They are in the weather holding pattern. This is the new Glenn launch all over again.
Yeah, SpaceX is trying to push the cast out as far as they can to wait for a hole in the clouds, like an actual hole in the clouds. That's what they're looking for. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad on that camera. On north, it doesn't look too bad. South looks not great. How long is the window? I do believe we have an hour window today. Yeah, we have an hour window. Guys, so this new T0 is targeting the end of the window. How long can they hold on a fully fueled ship? They can hold on a fully fueled ship, but they're not going to get to a point where they I mean, they could basically keep topping on a fully fueled ship for a good amount of time. I don't know what the exact amount of time is off the top of my head, Finn, but they could basically just keep pumping the fuel in as it boils off. They pump it in at it's called a slow fill or topping. Right? They can keep topping it off, and they can recycle the count a good amount of times before they have to scrub. I think Helsinki, you said 15 minutes. I think that's right. Yeah. That's not methane, Transit Biker. This is liquid oxygen. The methane gets recirculated. You showed that pic of the engines from the bottom. Is there a top-down picture of them? Rings, There is a top-down picture of Starship when it's on the pad floating around somewhere, dude. I don't know where it is, though. Topping is a term they should have Googled first. It's been around a lot longer than your definition of it, Oculus. Like, that blocks topping has been around for a long time. They aren't targeting the end. Oh, yeah, it's half past the hour, so that's halfway through the window. That's right. We're not launching in the past. Yeah, but that means you're culturally appropriating it. I don't appropriate my rocket culture. Isn't that frowned upon nowadays? Do you have a weather app showing this? I'm getting my updates from a buddy of mine, Peter, to be honest with you. Just don't you stick your tongue out at me, boy. Launch already. It's 2 a.m. in Spain. Why don't you ask me later, Crabsy? Guys, I'm not the dooming type, but those clouds don't look good. Starship can't launch through clouds if it's not a storm or shear. It could probably launch, and it would probably be fine, Nader. It's a test flight. You really want to see the thing when it launches. It's a test flight. You want good pictures of the dang thing. You want to be able to see it in case something goes wrong.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hey, Cersei. 35 months. Thank you. Did you keep your yak dry? Oh, my yak is very dry. Thank you very much. You think so, Squall? All right. Operational they could, but being a test flight yeah, exactly. Nader, I mean, you don't try to engineer a ship with the expectation of launching every hour, right? Like hourly launches. You don't build out an engine. You don't engineer out something like that and then not have it be able to launch in the rain. The only reason why they're looking for good conditions isn't to increase the probability of success. It's because it's a test flight. You want to make sure you're testing all the ships more or less in the same environment. And then over time, you can increase the weather envelope, which is like what they did with Falcon 9. Guys, I remember the Orbcomm 2 mission. The Orbcomm 2 mission scrubbed so many times before, what was it, December 21st, 2015? And then they launched it and then it landed. They were having so much problems with the densified propellants. Falcons used to scrub a lot. Doesn't happen so much anymore. But Starship will eventually get to that point, and I think it'll get to that point exponentially faster than Falcon, because Falcon was the first attempt to make a rapidly reusable vehicle. This is the second attempt, based off of what you learned from Falcon. So we're going to get to that point where you'll see Starship taking off in freaking blizzards, man. Not that they have a launch site where it snows, but soon, sure, why not? I'm busy today. Can we launch tomorrow? Sorry, more NSF back channel crap posting. If they have to scrub, when is the next window for a launch? Makers, the launch windows for Starship are entirely dependent on the road closures. The road closures are basically coincide with the launch attempts. So if there's a road closure for Boca Chica tomorrow, probably attempt it tomorrow. They have onboard cams. Wouldn't that suffice with all the clouds? I mean, Dean, remember SN11? No, it will not.
Oh, this is space. I'm in space.
Are you just posting movie references in the back channel so you don't say them here, you cheater? No. If you really want to know, Alex is going off about how he has no milk left in his house, and he can't buy any at 4 a.m. when the launch scrubs. I have no idea what the context of that is, but yeah. He had this whole rant in all caps, and he said, "Thank you for your attention in this matter." And then I posted a picture of the president saying China. If you really want to know, that's not a movie reference. Okay? Rockman 123 linger. See? Now you know I'm right. Okay, Homelander. No, this is stuff that they're talking about on the stream, dude, so it's okay. Is there going to be a WB-57 up? Not to my knowledge. And I don't know. Starship 11 is just a foggy memory to me. Yeah, you remember that,
Discovery,
dude?
go at throttle up.
The COPVs in the booster are being loaded. Okay. Hey, Audrey. About an hour to launch. They've pushed about halfway through the window, Audrey. Yeah, they're targeting the T0. Yeah, they're targeting about 8 o'clock our time. Yeah, 8 or most people do that. But it's been extended again. I want to go to bed. Pluto, 21-month resub. Thank you. Geeson gifted a 1 month of tier 1 sub to Wet Cloud Sucks. Okay. Don't they have 24-hour stores over there where Alex is from in Spain? I have no idea. They all went quiet. No.
Spectacular if they actually get to the point of igniting the engines. And we have the tower vent still going as well, looking up from the trailer. Yeah. Not as strong as we've seen it in the past. It's kind of trickling out there, Adrian.
I see some other people mentioning that on social media.
Steve, I ain't feeling it. Anonymous gifter gifted a sub to Got Milk. Hey, Rocket Man. Hey, Cody. Hey, Cody. Should we do we say what they're saying over there now? Pretty funny. The content of all those trucks is boiling up. No? All right. You sure? How about now? Spacex tweet. SpaceX team is go for prop load. There's a tweet right there. I just typed gopher, gopher like the small rodent. Prop load. All right. Full disclosure. The launch is currently timed for exactly when your morning stand-up meeting starts. If you could delay it another 30 minutes, that would be... Zibex, thanks for the 100 bits. Purple Pie at a 73-month resub. Thank you. Can we get some gopher trunnions? Yes. Do you think Adrian is tired? You guys think Adrian's tired? A lot of people are saying skip stand-up for this. That you're not being a team player if you do that, guys. You guys got to remember, skipping stand-up is not a very team, or are you not a team-oriented individual? Was that Caleb Cooper? Adrian does look like Caleb. That's weird, dude. Huh. I'm an individual-oriented individual. You're responsible for 17 developers. If you don't do
Discovery,
that
go and throttle up.
if you don't do that meeting, your employees will be slacking off all day instead of writing software. Did I miss the launch? No, Fumi, not yet. We're about an hour out. SpaceX keeps pushing it back. We've been an hour out for, like, the last hour. That is not what he said. Yeah, I know. SpaceX says they're a go for prop load, Sid, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. We might get some action today. SpaceX keeps pushing the launch out, not because anything's particularly wrong with Starship. They keep pushing the launch out because they're trying to get a gap in the weather. That's the real big thing right now. As you can see, the weather is not great. Is that Jack and Das?
We've got, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. Y'all are 5 different cameras. You got another camera up there, 6, probably 7 cameras. We've got a few cameras that you don't have to stand at attention or anything, dude.
I don't know. It's kind of like this is like my
He's
resting.
like a parade rest.
Because when I do this, I like kind of slouch.
You slouch?
Yeah, this is my anti-slouch technique. I don't know. Sawyer taught it to
Sort
me.
of like pulls it back together. Anyways, we're up here. We are all set, ready for launch.
The Eagle has landed.
I
I'm
wonder how
reading a
much
book
we're going to
about
see if it launches
anti-gravity.
today, though.
I can't put
We've
it
got some
down.
pretty dark
Help.
clouds over this way. We had actually had to
Nothing I can
clear
do.
off the roof earlier due to a lightning warning. We've got lightning detectors around, and we were getting lightning a little bit too close for comfort. So
I
we cleared off
accidentally
and stopped
inhaled
setting
some
up and waited for
deodorant
all
this
that weather system
morning.
to clear out.
Now I
we
speak
don't
with an
have that
accent.
now, but it's pretty dark in the east direction here.
Yeah,
So
like, if I look over here, sure. If I look
Yeah.
over there, yeah.
it's
If
all
I
right.
look over here, not great. If I look over there, oh,
Yeah.
that's your on-site weather. I'm not as good.
There's a building over there.
It's like that way, not looking too,
Yeah.
but that weather has been missing us to the north here. We sort of
Is Das's mic on his hat?
the island, so we haven't actually gotten wet here yet, knock on wood, but we are all ready to go. The clock continues to count down at the Margaritaville Hotel.
Absolutely. Are they going to take it away from us, or do we get to keep talking?
I don't know.
All right. Well, I'm just going to take the moment to say, holy cow, that report from Sam. I mean, this field report.
Oh,
who
yeah,
cares?
yeah. I saw that.
That field report from Sam was awesome.
cool.
I'm so glad that came together. But everybody's just pulling, 110% trying to get this thing done. I'm sure SpaceX and everybody over there is doing the same thing, trying to get this rocket off the ground. So
Yep.
at this point, it's up to the weather gods. Hopefully they cooperate. Otherwise, I'm going to be yelling at some clouds.
Elio!
I feel like I'm looking
Hey.
at 39A.
Yeah, in a suit, in a dragon suit. Yeah. But it's been a fun one. Like normally,
Probably, Andrew.
Launches are very rushed to get everything done. Today, a lot of the things were already done.
Yeah.
So I actually got to hang out at the ranch a little bit.
Nice.
Anthony made me coffee. Thank you, Anthony, if you're listening. It was
Nice.
delicious, and that's why I'm so hyper. But for real, we actually got to spend a little bit extra time.
Like chill out a little bit.
Yeah, I got some extra cameras set up, so I feel very bad for everybody that only got the one chance at the attempt yesterday and had to leave. But from my perspective, selfishly, I'm feeling good about today. I really hope the weather cooperates and
Yep.
they can get this thing off the ground, get some data, and move this program on to the next step.
Push it on to the next Block 2 Starship to get out of the way so we can get into the Block 3s. You're right, Jack. Today, we left a lot of the gear up here. A bunch of the cases are weatherproof. We bagged some other stuff, but we put it up here and we didn't have to carry it all up. It's so tough when you have to lug all the gear up here and it's hot
Yep.
and you're sweating and you get exhausted and then it's time for lunch.
And I don't even mind.
That's a lot of work. There's a lot of stuff that needs to go up on that dang roof. And the elevator doesn't go all the way to the dang roof. It's not fun. Done that for 2 flights.
a challenging week, and you get to the end of the week, and this is the catharsis.
Yeah.
We all want to see it go.
Yep.
Suffice to say.
So that's our report from up here on the roof right now. I think in just a second we'll toss it back here. We're not set up to answer questions or anything. I don't even know where my phone is right now.
What's a phone?
What's a phone?
I have a computer I keep in my pocket.
Nice. But we'll go ahead and send it back to some of the views from that end. We'll make sure that all our gear is ready to go. If we get a launch, we'll be tracking it up here from the roof of the Margaritaville Beach Resort, South Padre Island.
If the buyer family's watching, I love you. Bye.
Nice.
So that's not a blimp behind him, it's an aerostat. Aerostats are basically a security camera that's on a small dirigible that they send up there, and you can see things.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
EJ, you're my idol. Burr.
Clark, yeah, you should get down there. It's pretty cool.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Oh, Bell, 15-month resub. Methane tank is getting dark. What? U.S. Customs and Border Patrol use that aerostat to watch for people trying to cross the border.
Of the ship engine burn, right? So you might be able to have some kind of jellyfish effect downrange. Sort of the way that we...
Fuh! EJ is the best streamer. Fuh! Are you guys making... Is the YouTube chat making large electrical connoisseur references in my chat?
So very similarly, that could happen here as well, where, you know, at the launch site, there's probably not going to be any jellyfish effect. There's also the fact that there are lots of clouds in the way, so maybe that'll not...
That's correct, Hangman.
That will not allow us to see any jellyfish or anything. Let's hope we do, because we have our tracking assets and everything. We want to see the rocket for as long as we can, but we're definitely not going to see a jellyfish. People downrange, they may have a chance of seeing that.
And we also had Elizabeth Hopener, one of those names we always see in chat, with a $100 super chat. No message. No message. A $100 super chat. I mean, that's just
nice, Cerebral.
Bonkers support as usual. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. It's so greatly appreciated, that support in there. And then we had a fifth...
So if you guys notice, the vent line is covered in ice. And then if you notice the lines behind it, the lines behind it have ice all over them. They are insulated. There are insulated parts of the line, but the parts in the bends that are not insulated are basically caked in ice, meaning that the lines are saturated in preparation for propellant load. That vent line was open a little while ago, and it basically is there to prime the lines that go to the ship. That's why those are there. Once the lines are primed that go to the ship, and there's another vent down there with two that go to the booster, two being fuel and oxidizer, right? So liquid methane and liquid oxygen. Once the lines are primed and good to go, you should enter fueling. Fueling should start at T-minus 53 minutes, so in about 1 minute and 39 seconds.
Yes. I don't know why, but yes. I always feel like these days, when weather is an issue, I get too pessimistic, and then I'm getting surprised. And yeah, I feel confident they have a very good chance to go today, and I will fully say, if they launch today, I think we will see a fully stable re-entry. There, I'm that's the one thing I'm very optimistic about. I think they figured it out. I think it's finally time to see some good old plasma again.
Someone clip that. Alex, what's your vibe? How your vibes do? No, let's talk about the ship. We should be seeing some tank activity shortly. Some subcoolers should be kicking in shortly as well. How's that whole deal going at T-minus 53 minutes?
Yeah, so we had the go for propellant load, but propellant load has not started yet. That should be happening hopefully in 38 seconds from now, at least according to the SpaceX website. They have the start of fuel load on the ship at the T-minus 53 minute mark.
Exactly,
so,
SD.
in roughly 27 seconds from now, that'll be the start of liquid methane load on the ship. And we see now the comeback of the tower vent. That is more related to the liquid oxygen side of the ship loading.
Other guy, what are we looking at here? Weather guy, go into Modcord.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Go into Modcord voice, please. And translate what the heck I'm looking at here. Mouth, translate it. Dang it, that's a reference. I was on a good streak. Minus $1. $49. Crap! It's a good reference, though. If I'm going to lose $1, I will lose it to the
Yay.
goonies. Hello?
How's it going?
Hey, what's up, man? All right, what are we looking at here, weather guy?
We are looking at radar, base reflectivity. This is basically the ground station sensing hydrometeors in the atmosphere. That's for some big words for you.
Oh, yeah, I like those.
This is all relatively straightforward. Low-end colors, the cooler colors, are little to no precipitation. That like greenish, bluish haze almost that you see in a lot of that centermost area. That's actually ground clutter. That's not in the air much at all. It could be stuff like dust or treetops. But when you start getting into the greens and certainly the yellows and those oranges, well, now you're starting to look at rain, maybe a lot of rain. I don't see anything here that's too alarming in terms of precipitation. I don't see anything here that screams out like hail, for example. And the one thing I am worried about, which isn't on this product, is lightning, because I think lightning's probably going to be the biggest factor in this. Did you catch the link I sent before this one?
Oh, please hold.
Yeah, this is Weather Guy. Here's your local weather on the 8th. Hey, it's on the 8th.
Are we on the 8th? We are on the 8th. Send it.
And I can use references. Ah.
Oh. No, that's not. Just go. Just tell us about lightning.
All right, I'll tell you about lightning. So this is the Boca Chica area. I think the launch site is more or less behind EJ's head, if I'm looking at this right. This is just looking at cloud tops. This is a basic grayscale satellite image.
Right where my mouse
and
is.
Those little points that you see are lightning strikes as seen by the GOES East satellite. This is imagery from GOES East as well. And so this is the geostationary lightning mapper, the GLM, that's on that satellite. And it's seeing all of those are cloud lightning strikes that are bright enough to illuminate the cloud. So that's how it's seeing lightning from space. It's color-coded by time, which you can see on the bottom left of the image. In short, the oranges are the most recent, the blues are the older ones. They're in 5-minute groups. So, okay, with all that, what's this really telling us? If we take our eyes, take a step back, we see that a lot of that more robust thunderstorm activity, we see a lot of those ripples of that boiling action in the cloud tops. Those are the stronger thunderstorms. Those really seem to be dissipating in the area of Boca Chica, if I got my geography right here.
Where my mouse cursor is, dude.
Where are you? Oh, perfect. Thank you, EJ. Let's see. Yeah. So the stronger storms are moving away, and because it's already rained a bunch in that area, what we see is the lack of new thunderstorm development. Once you get that cold, more humid air, that's really going to mitigate any further development. You're not getting the sun to really get down as much to heat things back up. So what I'm saying is that even though we're starting to see some lightning decrease from the area, maybe rain amounts decrease from the area, storms themselves decreasing, we're still getting the rogue lightning strike here and there kind of nearby. And that is still going to be possible for the next, I don't know, decent amount of time, to give myself a little bit of legroom here. So they keep pushing it back by an hour. What they're doing is they're hoping to have an opportunity for these storms to continue to evolve away. The more time that they can buy, the further the sun sets, which will also help to decrease storm activity and new storm growth. And hopefully these other storms that you see popping up to the west and southwest won't move over the Boca Chica area. I think pushing back an hour at a time is a reasonable course of action for this. Really what I've shown you is all that I've seen. I haven't looked into this a whole lot, but based on just these few data sets alone, I'm not going to rule it out, but I can see why they're going with more or less a coin flip chance at this point.
Yep. Cool. And that was my moderator, Weather Guy. Thank you, Weather Guy. Appreciate it.
No problem. I'll be around.
All right, buddy. I'm going to mute here in the thingy. Okay. Cool. So it looks like ship loading has begun, and the SpaceX stream should be starting here momentarily. Thanks, Ali. Dang it! Another $1. Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing... Dude, how often do I do this? Oh, no. You're making me very... I'm getting very... I'm getting very self-conscious about this now. I'm not going to be able to unsee it. I didn't do it to myself. Chad says it. You're... I bet $50 that I wouldn't make a reference, any movie references, until launch. And every time I make a movie references, I lose $1. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to switch off the NSF coverage from our buddies over on Starbase. And we're going right to the SpaceX cast, baby.
Why did EJ's motherboard overheat? He wouldn't let it bend.
Chip, what's going on, dude? Hey, come on back now. Dude, I've never seen a Mars flyby here. Oh, 2160. Hey, 2160 on X. Not bad, dude. Not bad. I am not Oculus. I don't know what you're talking about. They aren't movie references. They're TV show references. Hey, Bossy. What's up, buddy? I think so, goalie. See that over there, guys? Olympus Mons. Tallest mountain in the entire solar system. Here we go.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Dude.
Alright, I'll go here's contact one. Flight directors go for launch.
Tenth wave in Starship. Yeah, that's doing it for me. No problem, Nevin. No, that's their cast got injured. Yeah, it's pretty rad.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Starbase, Texas, or what we like to call here at SpaceX, the gateway to Mars. I'm Dan Hewitt with Spacex Communications, coming
Danny!
to you once again from inside of Star Factory. This time pretty cool. Just off to my right, though, our new Mission Control Center. Engineers are on console, monitoring all the vehicle, the systems, as we are counting down
Dan's
right
over
now
there.
to liftoff of the 10th Starship flight test. As you look at the rocket, you can tell prop load is underway. Our T0 right now is set for 6:59 p.m. Central Time. We've been dodging around some weather that is currently the biggest threat to a launch today, as we're at about 70% probability of violation to liftoff. So we're looking at those clouds closely, but not tracking any technical issues on the vehicle. Today's objectives, particularly with the ship, going to look pretty similar to the last flights, the last several launches. We're planning to deploy Starlink simulator satellites and fly a whole range of experiments during Starship's re-entry.
They'll say
really
in a second,
trying to
Peter.
test the limits of its heat shield, the flaps, learn as much as possible as we build towards a fully reusable heat shield. We're looking to do a controlled descent, targeted soft splashdown in the Indian Ocean, so hopefully seeing Starship on the other side of the planet today. Regardless of the outcome, the goal is to collect as much data as humanly possible.
See it out there,
That'll get us all the bit. We're just getting closer and closer to a fully operational Starship.
So they said 70% probability of violation, which is that's not great, dudes. But we'll see where it takes us.
Bill and I are just going to enter this live cast.
All right, so
add a little flavor.
Yeah, right now we're counting down, but we're about to launch the largest flying object ever made. But this isn't on the radar for everybody, and we know that. So we want to kind of take a beat, pull back, do a little bit of Starship 101. To do that, I've got some special guests crashing the webcast today. Joining me now in Star Factory, Elon Musk, Chief Engineer at SpaceX. Bill Riley, our VP of Starship Engineering. Thanks for being here, guys.
Whoa!
We got a rocket about to get off the pad, but, let's start people off, high level. Why are we here? What the hell are we doing here?
Well, I don't know about everybody, but I'm here to try to build into the future that I imagined and dreamed of as a child, where starships with people are out among the stars exploring the universe.
Yeah, so the why, it's always important to explain the why of things. And the why of Starship is that we want to be a multi-planet species to extend consciousness beyond Earth, I think for two main reasons. One is to ensure the long-term survival and prosperity of life as we know it in consciousness, which if we are a multi-planet species and ultimately a multi-stellar species out there among the stars, the probability of survival is much, much longer. That's kind of the, defensive aspect or life insurance for life collectively. But then there's also, there also need to be things that are inspiring and exciting and that give you reason to live. Life cannot just be about solving one tragic problem after another. There must be also reasons to get up in the morning and be excited about the future. And a future where we are a spacefaring civilization is infinitely more exciting than one where we are not.
And we're doing it all pretty unique location. I mean, the pad's behind us. We got rocket on the tower. We got another tower with it. We're sitting inside Star Factory. And I mean, it wasn't like this.
And sounds sick.
For very long. This is all pretty brand new.
Yeah, I think we moved Starship here in about the early part of 2019. So we've been coming that entire time and seeing the site evolve from a double wide trailer and a tent where we built Starhopper to the first suborbital test flights. And now we have behind us 2 towers for the first time as we build towards the first operational flight from the second tower at the end of this year. And this beautiful building, 1 million square feet, where we're able to work towards a production line of Starships.
Yeah, the SpaceX team has done an incredible job of building out
Look at that damn thing,
really
dude.
the most advanced rocket manufacturing facility that has ever existed. This is far beyond any rocket fabrication facility that has ever been built. This is essentially alien level technology, and it was all built here basically down by the Rio Grande River and close to the beach. It's an incredibly improbable location, and this used to be a sandbar. I think we're about, 3 feet or about 1 meter above sea level. It really was nothing. If you see the time lapse from sandbar to two launch towers, and a gigantic rocket factory with high bays. And we're going to be building something called the Gigabay, which is like one of the largest enclosed volumes on Earth. So it's sort of like a gigantic Borg cube that we're going to be building here for.
What a nerd!
Yeah, for building and storing these gigantic rockets. It's really spectacular, and anyone can come and visit. So, because we're on a public highway, and we're literally by a public beach, you can actually come and see the rocket.
Emery, not right now.
I mean, you can drive past
Don't do it. Not right now. After the launch.
Also look at the factory, and anyone can do this from anywhere in the world. You can come and visit and check it out. So I think it's pretty cool that it's just not right now. Just not right now.
Just not right now.
Obviously not when we're
Not right
launching
now.
because
See?
there's some safety
Listen
issues.
to Dan.
But the rocket's often just sitting on the pad without any propellant in it, and then you can just come here and visit. It's very easy.
Yeah, I think it's a really special place. Yesterday, the ship went down the road behind us, and I saw families outside on Sunday going for their Sunday stroll, and they were greeted by Starship going down. And I think that from the very beginning, the thing about Starship different than Falcon and other rockets that I'm aware of is we designed it to be mass-produced and mass-produced at scale. And it's not about building one Starship and getting to orbit once. It's about doing it in a sustained and rapid way.
Yeah, we're aiming for ultimately thousands of ships to be built per year, which is what's needed in order to construct a city on Mars that is self-sustaining. And the major fork in the road of destiny will be when the Mars city is capable of surviving even if the resupply ships from Earth stop coming for any reason. And that reason could be something cataclysmic, or it could be that that civilization simply subsided. There's always this debate throughout history of will civilization end with a bang or a whimper. But either way, if the critical thing is to get to the point where Mars is self-sustaining and can survive even if the resupply ships stop coming for any reason, which means that you need to build an entire base of industry on Mars in order for Mars to survive. For example, it's not simply enough to build a chip, like a computer chip factory, but you need the ability to build computer chip factories. So this is going to really take a lot of tonnage. I mean, my guess is at least 1 million tons to the surface of Mars, and maybe it takes less than that, but it's going to be a lot. But this is a very exciting future. It's one which will ensure the long-term survival and prosperity of life and consciousness, and it's the critical stepping stone to get from this solar system to other star systems, and perhaps go out there and explore, and perhaps we'll encounter alien civilizations that maybe they're alive now, or maybe they enjoyed a period of prosperity for millions of years, but also died out millions of years ago. So it's humbling to think of the age of the universe, according to the standard model of physics, being approximately 13.8 billion years old. So an incremental million years would be 3 digits past the decimal point. And if you look at, say, our civilization and measure our civilization by the first evidence of writing, which is about 5,500 years ago, civilization as measured from the first writing is only 1/1,000,000th of Earth's existence.
Or blip.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Flash in the pan so far.
Yeah. Well, we're getting some cool shots. Rocket out on the pad right now. We tell people, like, come down, see it. It's hard to get, like, a sense of scale of just how massive this thing is. And we were able to catch somebody working on it a little while ago.
Dan's
and
way more
like,
sick than I am.
part of the reason you said we're sending millions of tons, that's kind of why this thing
I
is
think
so
in this
massive
image,
as it
Dan,
is.
you can actually see the person working at the bottom of the ship, and as we zoom out, you see the full ship, that sort of two-tone.
So, Admana, you say land stuff at Olympus Mons. It's easier? It's actually easier to land somewhere in the Mariner Valley. Do you know why? There's more air resistance down there because there's some semblance of atmospheric pressure. It's actually easier to land in the Mars lowlands than it is on the highlands because you can use some aero braking to your advantage. Yeah, that would be, honestly, if I was going to put a colony on Mars, it'd be in the Mariner Valley. It's much easier to land stuff there.
Of part of the Starship factory, and you can get a sense of the scale of the factory. Yeah, I guess we could talk a bit about why Starship is the way it is. Like for example, why is half of the ship black and half of it is silver colored, and that's because the bottom half of the ship, the bottom as seen from orbital entry, has a heat shield on it. So the black.
Where do you think
there
I learned
is
it from, dude?
is the heat shield, and then the core structure of the rocket is a special alloy of stainless steel, and that's where you see the sort of shiny silver parts are stainless steel. The reason for steel over aluminum is that the heat of atmospheric entry and the heat of the rocket engines is enough to easily melt aluminum, but steel is much more resilient against both ascent heating, but especially the reentry heating. And you don't have to paint it, which is actually very difficult to paint a large object that is going through cryogenic cycles and have the paint stay on. It's quite challenging.
And so we've talked about it. It's massive. It obviously takes a whole lot of energy to make that thing move. And that's where Raptor really starts to come in. Most advanced engine on the planet. Giant lightsaber.
No, that's a lightsaber and a half. You would get vaporized in an instant if you were standing in front of Raptor. So, burnt to a crisp in less than a second. So in order to create a fully reusable orbital rocket, you have to advance the state of the art in every part of the rocket. That means the engines have to be better than any engine ever. The structure's got to be better than any structure ever. You've got to you've got to have a means of bringing the rocket back to the launch pad. You've got to have a fully reusable orbital heat shield, and that no one has ever made a fully reusable orbital heat shield. The space shuttle, for example, required 9 months of refurbishment between flights. So the space shuttle heat shield would come back essentially partially broken and would require many months of refurbishment in order to fly again. What we're trying to achieve here with Starship is to have a heat shield that can be flown immediately. So the ship, both the ship and the booster, would be caught by the tower arms, and the booster would be placed immediately back on the launch stand, and the ship's got to orbit Earth at least once, but then could be back potentially in one orbit, but in most cases several orbits. So the ship would come back several hours later, but then be caught by the arms and placed on top of the booster. You can also have multiple ships ready so that a single booster could service 5 or more ships, so that you could be flying the booster in theory every hour. This is kind of a
Hey, I love you, dude, but let Bill talk, dude. I've never seen Bill before. I want to let Bill say something.
We catch the tower. We catch the booster with the tower arms, and the ship also will be caught with the tower arms, because that's the fastest way to get the booster and the ship back to flight. If we had instead put landing legs, which we have done before for the ship tests, we actually had landing legs that flipped down, and the ship we've successfully demonstrated landing with legs.
It's not random.
But if you do that, if we were to do that with the booster and the ship, here we'd have to land somewhere else with the legs, then lift the rocket, stow the legs, transport the rocket back to the pad, which is very unwieldy when you've got a gigantic thing. Then it would be picked up by these tower arms and placed in the launch mount. That would delay the reusability dramatically and would add a lot of mass with the landing legs. So that's why we catch the rocket with the tower arms, because it's the same tower arms that put the rocket in the launch mount are used to catch the rocket. And that means that we can put the booster back in the launch mount in less than an hour after liftoff. In fact, the booster is going to come back very fast. 5 or 6 minutes later, this booster is coming back one way or another, or not coming back. So then you really have propellant full time, which can be brought down to about 30, 40 minutes. And that means it is theoretically possible to fly the booster again in less than an hour.
I think when I think about it, it's the jet drives up to the jetway, the people get off, new people get on, and it leaves. You don't want to land the jet on a different airfield and then tow it over to the jetway. So it's just operationally simpler and faster.
Yeah, we've had a lot of success with the booster, 3 for 3 on the catch attempts. When we bring it back, we've reflown one, so awesome. And then again, Starship superpowers, the whole thing is reusable. So ship reusability is like what we're working on right now. We've been able to get some really spectacular reentries on a couple of flights, hoping to get this one for reentry on the V2 ship. But yeah, that fully reusable heat shield, that thing that has just never been done before. That's one of the things we're really looking for that data on.
Yeah, I mean, there are thousands of engineering challenges that remain for both the ship and the booster, but maybe the single biggest one is the reusable orbital heat shield. We are confident in making a fully reusable orbital heat shield, but it will require many flights, many iterations to figure out where the weak points are in the heat shield, where we need to change the design, either strengthening the tile or changing how big the gap is between tiles.
Look at how scorched that ship is. That was
changing
so good,
what's
man.
underneath the tile.
That was so cool. How did that thing make it?
100 different variables that we could tweak with the ship tiles, the heat shield tiles. But the only way to know exactly what we should be adjusting is to fly repeatedly and be able to examine the ship upon landing. And we have successfully brought the ship back through the atmosphere and achieved a soft landing multiple times. So we know that this is possible, but we have in the process shed many heat shield tiles. So we need to be able to do this without shedding heat shield tiles.
Be so nuts, dude.
And do so repeatedly.
And I think what you're seeing now is the Starship, this is CG of it coming in and landing on the tower, much like the booster, but there's some additional challenges there where we need to make sure we don't scrape the tiles off as we slide along the chopstick
we can't
arms.
shuck the heat shield.
Don't crush the ship.
Rapid reusability.
If we shuck the tiles, then that's obviously going to fail the reusability test.
So ships can use the tower to land and catch, like the booster here on Earth where towers are available. And for our initial landings on Mars and other planets, we'll need landing legs that deploy, much like what you're seeing here with Ship 15 when we did our suborbital test, to prove out the precision descent landing, which was a successful test. We actually landed one. We were able to actually recover it, and you can see it here in the Rocket Garden if you visit Starbase.
So the Rocket Garden that Bill mentioned, we have actually a whole bunch of boosters and ships, and we'll be adding to them over time. So you can see an evolution of Starship just by driving down the highway.
Yeah. So reusability is key. Yeah. There's some other technologies we're still looking to prove out. Really big one is going to be the
Squall. I touched Starhopper. Fun fact. Couldn't film it though. I touched it. Put my hand right up on one of the landing legs.
Earth.
It's big.
And that's something that's, again, never been done before, kind of like that.
I remember.
Reusable orbital heat shield.
That thing. It's pretty cool.
But it's going to be something that's kind of some of the other secret sauce to Starship, where we're going to be able to send hundreds of tons per ship
to
Mars.
I hope so.
Yeah, I like to think of it as if we get to orbit with a full cargo bay, but we're empty on fuel and oxygen.
Dude, look at
so
that.
basically, we're running on fumes. Then we send other ships to dock, transfer propellant, and now we made our two-stage rocket look like a many, many multi-stage rocket. And we get all of that performance, and we can take that full cargo bay now wherever we want to go.
Yeah, so a crucial technology that we hope to demonstrate next year is this orbital refueling, much like aerial refueling. It's essential for being able to send significant payload to Mars. So you essentially send a ship to orbit with a few hundred tons of payload, sort of a filled payload bay. But once it gets to orbit, the tanks will be mostly empty, and then you send up additional tanker ships to refill the Mars ship's tank, so that it can thrust from Earth orbit to Mars and have enough propellant left for landing. So this is orbital refilling is also not something that's ever been demonstrated before. So that would be a brand new technology. We obviously have at SpaceX figured out how to dock repeatedly with the space station. So in a lot of ways, this is
you will need a heat shield
like docking.
on Mars trouble. Yes.
And
Mars has an atmosphere.
In some ways, it's
not
easier
big, but
in
it's
that
there.
the ship where SpaceX is docking with its own.
Now, interesting thing about EDL on Mars. If you're coming from a trans-Martian injection, meaning you're coming from Earth, you need a thermal protection system. However, if you're coming from low Martian orbit and you're trying to land down on the surface, you don't need a TPS. You only really need those tiles in that thermal protection system when you're coming from Earth. That's when it's really needed, and Starship is principally designed to do that. That doesn't mean that we won't see a Martian SSTO in the future that has no thermal protection system. It's not needed. I mean, you need thermal protection system to some extent. It just not tiles, right? It's going to have there's going to be thermal mitigations. Every spacecraft has some form of thermal protection system on it. Even a satellite that's designed to not re-enter has a thermal protection system on it. Just not a thermal protection system from a reusable ship.
And like a giant meteor that destroyed the dinosaurs. Or ultimately the sun will expand to envelop.
Did any of the Mars rovers need a TPS? Oh yeah, absolutely. Curiosity and Perseverance both used heat shields in an aero back shell. So they used a heat shield, made it through, jettisoned the heat shield, pulled a drogue chute on the back shell, pulled a main chute on the back shell to slow down, right? And then the aero shell jettisoned the sky crane, and the sky crane did a propulsive landing in the last, terminal phase of descent. Absolutely. If you're coming from Earth going to Mars, what's called a trans-Martian injection, you absolutely need a heat shield. Oh yeah, ablative, tile, whatever. But Martian SSTOs actually don't. You don't need a heat shield. You do need some thermal protection, but or else it's going to get a little burnt. But not like a tile or an ablator heat shield. Like cork would be fine as a Martian SSTO reusable heat shield. Cork would work. That would be okay.
Faster than a rocket, really. An orbital rocket is the fastest thing.
What if you do a trans-Martian injection into low orbit and slow down?
Of the fastest means of transport.
You're trading, so Geek, at that point, you're trading, you're talking about circularizing around Mars and then landing. You would not need a thermal protection system for that. What you would need, right, is more fuel. So you're trading massive heat shield here for massive fuel. It's trade-offs here. What architecture, and there's no, Geek, the real thing is that there's no right or wrong way to do this, right? There's no right or wrong way to do this. Both of these ways are equally applicable. They could both work. What are you trying to do? If you have an architecture that has a space station around Mars, then that way works. That way makes a lot of sense. Because then the SSTO can go up and down from your space station, right? And all you got to do is send your ships coming from Earth just to circularize around Mars and then go to the space station. Boom. That'll work. A little more complicated architecture, but you can simplify your ship design that way. Your transfer ship design, right? It's always trade-offs with this stuff. Now, SpaceX, they're just going to send it right to the surface, dude. SpaceX is more about building the colony on Mars than anything. So their architecture centers around something that would be good for a trans-Martian injection EDL on Mars. Basically coming from Earth to Mars and just straight landing. No circularization, straight land, and then come back.
To the rocket, so just checking in. We are about 19 minutes and change away from liftoff. As I said right at the top, weather is going to be our primary concern. We were tracking some anvil clouds. We're hopefully clearing that on the range soon. We are not currently tracking.
Have you noticed the shirt that Elon is wearing that's kind of scary? But yeah, it's not scary, Ramalot. Nuke Mars is a SpaceX meme of nuking the poles on Mars and getting the ice caps to melt on Mars is a meme way of terraforming very, very quickly. He's not. There's no provocative statement there. It's a joke.
Got us into an attempt today.
It's
all right. Joining me now for the rest of the day is Amanda Lee. Hi, Amanda.
Thanks, Dan. I'm super excited to be here. Let's just get right into it.
Yeah, a whole bunch has happened to get us to today's flight, our 10th flight test. Let's look back at Starship's 9th flight test in May. That did end with a rapid unscheduled disassembly on the ship and the booster.
Flight 9 marked the first reflight of a Super Heavy booster. We saw successful stage separation and the first ever deterministic flip, which gives us extra performance. The reused booster was flown at a much higher angle of attack to push the envelope on capabilities, which ended up causing some internal structural failure, eventually leading to a rapid unscheduled disassembly at landing burn.
Yeah, ship continued its ascent. We did see pressure drop in its main fuel tank and rise in the nose cone. We just had a camera view. We actually caught the failure on camera in the fuel pressurization system. Ship was able to complete its ascent, though, achieved its planned velocity and second stage engine cutoff.
After that, though, we did run into some issues with attitude control, which led us to skipping the payload deploy and Raptor relay demos. Starship eventually re-entered the atmosphere in an off-nominal attitude, and communication was lost approximately 46 minutes into the flight test during entry, but of course not before one heck of a light show.
Yeah. That booster rud was caused by higher than predicted forces on its structure, specifically that internal fuel transport tube, as we were doing a higher angle of attack experiment. To fix that for remaining flights with this version of the booster, including the one behind us, we're just going to lower that angle of attack. We're relaxing those forces, and that minimizes the likelihood of structural failure.
And over on the ship side, we redesigned the part of the fuel pressurization system that failed on Flight 9, put it through a more rigorous test campaign, and after subjecting it to flight-like stresses, it did successfully run for more than 10 times the expected service life with no damage, so great test results there. Our goal is always to make it through all of the objectives we set, but any result that teaches us more about Starship performing in the real-world environment helps us to make those targeted iterations and improve quickly.
Yeah, that's how SpaceX developed our first rocket, Falcon 1. That's the same philosophy we used to develop Falcon 9, which has passed 100 flights just this year and 500 flights overall.
Yeah, incredible milestone for Falcon. And again, the way they got there was to launch, learn, and repeat.
I don't know what they use now.
Right.
I know at the Cape it's 10 to 20
That
miles.
wasn't the only thing that happened while getting ready for Flight 10. If you followed along, Ship 36, which was originally supposed to fly on Flight 10, experienced a major anomaly during a static fire test at our Massey's test site. It was in the process of loading all of its cryogenic propellant to do a 6-engine static fire when we had a sudden energetic event that resulted in the complete loss of the Starship, and we damaged the immediate area surrounding the stand out there at Massey's.
The most likely root cause was identified as undetectable or under-screen damage to a composite overwrapped pressure vessel, or COPV, in Starship's payload bay section. To address this probable cause, we're operating the COPVs on Starship at a lower pressure and also implemented additional proofs and inspection methods.
Meanwhile, though, keep our launch schedule up, got to keep testing. The team was able to pivot and use the launch pad, the one we're on today, to do ship static fire tests. It was the first time we've ever done that. Doing that retrofit was the fastest path to get back to launch. Team was able to engineer a solution where we used a transport ring to mount the ship, routed a whole bunch of extra hoses and everything to load propellants. They knocked that out in just a matter of weeks, where we had 2 static fires on the orbital mount.
Yeah, very impressive turnaround there, getting to these static fires. These static fires gave us the data we needed to progress to launch and are a prime example of our engineer and technician teams working to build creative solutions to keep us charging forward to eventually bring Starship online.
And
that's the same pad they're using
even
right
while
now,
doing
like
all of
3
this,
weeks ago.
we were in the process of rebuilding the test stand out at Massey's to get ready for the next generation of Starship, version 3. So right now, though, we are still on track. We're looking about 14 minutes away. Again, our T0 is at 6:59 p.m. Central. While we still have a couple of moments, though, let's toss it over to Chris, who's getting ready to watch the launch out in California. How's it going,
Is he at the
Chris?
Tesla diner?
Hey, Dan and Amanda, it's going great, and welcome everyone to the Tesla Diner here in Hollywood, California. For the first ever public showing of a SpaceX webcast, it's been great to see the webcast up here on the big screens at the diner. You know, throughout the afternoon, we've had members of the public coming up, mixing and mingling, enjoying some of the food, getting to watch some old science fiction, but also getting to watch and keep up to date with what's happening here for Starship's 10th test flight. I think I can speak for everyone here when I say we're really looking forward forward to the epic views that we're going to get from in space and during atmospheric reentry, all thanks to Starlink. And speaking of Starlink, that's actually how we're coming to you live from the diner, relying on one of those many reliable connections that Starlink is able to put down across the Earth and in low Earth orbit. So for a little bit more information on the immediate future of the Starlink constellation, let's head on over to Hawthorne, where my colleague Tyler Lionquist is standing by. Tyler, how's it going there? And are you ready to see a rocket launch today?
We are definitely ready for a Starship launch here in Hawthorne. Hi everyone, my name is Tyler Lionquist, and I'm a Starlink business analyst here at SpaceX. Starlink is SpaceX's low Earth orbit high-speed internet that's bringing connectivity to places where you least expect it, including in space. For today's mission, Starship is outfitted with 4 Starlink terminals, allowing us to get live views of ship while in orbit and all the way down to splashdown in the Indian Ocean. Starlink satellites are built in Redmond, Washington, and that's also where we monitor the health of our entire constellation. So let's take a quick look for more on Redmond.
What a lot of people might not realize when they think about the scale that we're operating is that actually 2/3 of the operational satellites in orbit are Starlink satellites. And then all of those Starlink satellites came from right here in Redmond.
Okay. Dude.
We've currently got a constellation of over 8,000 satellites that are flying around in orbit. So they're working together to fill out the whole surface of the Earth, make sure everywhere can have service. So we have these laser links that are connected between the satellites, so each satellite can pass data from one to the other.
Whoa.
That is what allows us to have these hundreds of gigabit links between satellites, and that's what allows us to connect every corner of the Earth to high quality, high speed, low latency internet.
Crap, dude, that was sick. Bro.
When you think about that Starlink that you have at home, the technology that's in there and that's in your antenna is very similar to the antenna that's on the satellite. We use what are called phased array antennas, which is a fancy way of describing an antenna that's made up of many little antennas that work together in order to direct their energy to a specific spot on the ground without a motor.
Generally, satellite manufacturing is a very slow process. It takes people weeks or months to build a satellite. At SpaceX, we iterate very fast, and we have learned how to build satellites at the 70 sats a week rate. As we have focused a lot on production rate, we have not forgotten about our satellite reliability, which is critical to our mission.
If you look at the whole world and you ask, where is the satellite industry? It's right here in the USA, in Redmond, where the vast majority of satellites being built are being built right here. Starlink is a truly game-changing technology, and it's all supported by the global satellite constellation from this space here in Redmond.
Did you see the truckload of satellites? That was awesome.
And we're really just getting started at the very beginning of what we want to do with Starlink.
They're making 70
now,
a week.
As we mentioned earlier in the
You've
show,
gotta
one
be
of today's
kidding me.
objectives is for SHIP to deploy Starlink.
That's ridiculous, man. All right, hey, on the Twitch side of things, I'm gonna run ads so you don't get ads during the launch. Okay, we're gonna run them. I'll be right back, dude. That's so cool.
Satellites will be dispatched relatively quickly, one at a time, very much like a Pez dispenser. They'll be situated in one long...
Refresh the live feed. All right, sure.
Much like a Pez dispenser. They'll be situated in one long stack, taking up as little space as possible, allowing for an efficient deployment sequence. And once a set of Starlinks is deployed, the next set advances and deploys until they are all drifting away from Starship to prepare for their on-orbit life. Each Starlink V3 launch on Starship is planned to add 60 terabits per second of capacity to the Starlink network. That's more than 20 times the capacity added with every V2 mini launch on Falcon 9. So we're talking about a massive increase in performance all around, which will ultimately enable Starlink to serve as the communications backbone of the missions to the moon and to Mars. But for now, we're going to turn it back over to the team at Starbase. Hey, Dan and Amanda.
Hey, thanks, Taylor. So, quick update for everybody. So weather's still the main thing that we're watching. We are currently red on the range, hoping to clear that anvil rule any moment now. That's really the only thing blocking us at the moment. Vehicle's good, pads ready to go. All of our checkouts have been really smooth today after that repair work that we did this morning after we had to abort out yesterday. So we're looking at the weather. That's the thing we're really paying attention to right now.
Meanwhile, prop load is still ongoing. We started loading prop at about T-minus 53 minutes, beginning with ship fuel, ship blocks, booster fuel, and finally booster locks began loading at about T-minus 35. We'll continue loading prop until just about 3 minutes before liftoff, and ship will conclude first, and then 30 seconds later, booster
if the
will
clouds are
finish
charged,
up.
Yeah, so bottom line, we're looking great in the vehicle. We're looking really good on the range. We're just really watching that weather. So we're still waiting to hear that that's clear. That's the only thing that could potentially stop us today.
Okay, now let's talk about Mars, since everything we do is part of our foundational mission to get to the Red Planet. Each Starship launch is to learn more and more about what's needed to make life multiplanetary and to improve ship to the point where it's eventually taking millions of people to Mars.
That's right. We're looking ahead to begin sending the first Starships to Mars next year. These initial ones are going to go without humans.
Yeah, Sid.
They're just going to put minimally viable landers on the surface, land right on the skirt, no legs. This will just help prove we can actually get to Mars, focus on learning just as much as humanly possible, demonstrating what's needed for Mars transit and the ultimate landing.
Then, during our next window from 2028 to 2029, we'll attempt to land the initial infrastructure and start delivering more equipment while evaluating available resources on the planet.
And space
And we'll also have
SPMTs.
Optimus on board for the ride, designed to do the initial heavy lifting.
Beyond that, by 2030, 2031, as these windows open up roughly every 26 months, we'll continue to increase the amount of payload we're sending on each ship as we're building out more infrastructure, mining resources, generating propellant for ships to come back from Mars. By 2033, we want to double the amount of payload per ship as we just get closer and closer to building a self-sustaining presence on the Red Planet.
Yeah, very exciting missions ahead, and these first missions to Mars are going to be crucial to setting up what we'll need for humans to eventually inhabit the planet, and we won't be doing this alone. The Italian Space Agency and SpaceX recently signed a first-of-its-kind agreement to carry Italian experiments on the first Starship missions to deliver customer payloads to Mars. These payloads will include a plant growth experiment, a weather monitoring station, and a radiation sensor to gather scientific data during Starship's approximately 6-month interplanetary coast phase from Earth to Mars and also on the Martian surface.
It's a really exciting vision to make it happen.
All right. A lot of people. So I saw a. So Jake Beeball, you're asking why are range conditions super important? I feel like if Elon wants to travel to be as common as planes, then we need to make it a little range. So yeah, okay. So why are they worried about the weather? This is a test flight, guys. You ideally want a test flight in ideal conditions. You want a blue sky. You want to launch into the wild blue yonder. Now, obviously, you're not going to get that every day. Some things to really worry about here: charged clouds, thunderstorms. You don't want to launch into a thunderstorm. You don't want to put the rocket into a scenario where it's going to get struck by lightning. You do not want to make it the lightning rod. That's really bad. That, at the worst, it'll mess up your testing criteria, right? At the worst, it'll mess up your testing criteria in the form of blowing the rocket up. But, least worst scenario, you can't see the dang thing when it goes to launch. Having good imagery, I don't know if you could tell by all of SpaceX's cameras here. Having good imagery of the test flight is really important. That's a really good way to see what's going on with the vehicle. It really helps when you can actually see the thing. SpaceX puts a very big emphasis on optics, and there's a very good reason for that. But yeah, that's the reason. It's not that Starship couldn't launch right now. It's that they're really hoping for about as good as an ideal condition as you could get for the day.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Because you want ideal testing criteria.
At T minus 40 seconds. We can hold.
Good fella. Gifted 10 subs. Silas Granger,
I'm in space.
8-month resub. Smash T with bits. Periodic had a 68-month resub in there too. I already rolled the ads, Eukerman. We should be good.
Weather has cleared.
Discovery,
That's
go at
the
throttle
only thing it looks like would hold us today. There's the business end of a super heavy.
Now, once we pass that T-minus 40-second mark that Dan was talking about, a number of events are going to occur in rapid succession. The ground spin and ignition systems come up to flight pressure, and ship will switch over to internal power.
Guys. I appreciate it.
After that, the quick disconnect arm lockout is removed in preparation for retraction, which occurs shortly after T0. And once we pass that T-minus 40-second mark, we do still have the ability to then recycle the count under certain conditions back to T-minus 40 seconds and hold there to assess what happened, and if we can proceed again back to liftoff.
Yeah, we hope that doesn't happen, but it has previously. I promise not to psych anybody this time. We do have some kind of points of no return. Once the water starts flowing out of that flame deflector under the launch mount, that happens just a little after T-minus 10 seconds. If that triggers and then we hit a hold, that would be a scrub for the day. We have to refill the water tanks, can't turn it off, got to refill prop, all that stuff. So that's kind of the major watch item. You'll see a big splash under the launch mount, and if we see that go and then you hear a hold, that would mean that we're done for the day. But not.
Dan, hello. Dan?
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Dan.
And yeah, I didn't disappear. Sorry, everybody. Listening in as the flight director for today is going through some of the final checks. We are still red on the range for weather. We are closing out prop load right now, though.
Yeah, as we wait and hear what's going on, we can just quickly review some of the test objectives for today. On the booster side, we're of course hoping for all 33 of those Raptor engines to power our ascent ahead of hot staging. And once that stage separation occurs, booster will perform that directional flip before the boost back burn. One of the interesting experiments we're doing today is upon our landing burn, which typically ends with those 3 center engines lit. We're going to be intentionally shutting one of those off and instead lighting one from the middle 10 ring. And this is just to kind of give us an idea of what it would look like if we ever had an engine out scenario.
Yeah, using our time to really push the envelope.
15 minutes, Aqualux.
And so at this point, we are fully closed out on our prop load. Coming up on a minute and 20, we are still red on the range for weather. So at this rate, looking likely we will hold at T-minus 40 to see if we can clear that anvil cloud roll. That's the one blocker we currently have to a launch today.
BBC checkout.
All right, and we did just get confirmation, so we are expecting to hold at T-minus 40. We are still red on the range for weather, so look for the clock to pause in just a couple seconds. And pause. So we'll hang out here for a couple of minutes. We do have until the end of the window.
Diamond hands, chat.
We won't have 30 minutes of hold time to hang out, as we can't. We're essentially not replenishing prop on the vehicle at this point, so we have to keep a close eye on things like temperatures inside the tanks. We can only hold for so many minutes before things start to warm up.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Surprised it's hot in South Texas. So.
Yazos.
Yeah, while we're holding here at T-minus 40 seconds, we reviewed our test objectives for booster, but why don't we chat ship for a second? After stage separation, ship will continue onwards up through its ascent to the planned suborbital trajectory. Once it reaches there, we'll undergo SECO, or where the second stage shuts off its engines. We're hoping to deploy 8 dummy satellites today, which are modeled after Starlink V3. We're also planning to attempt a in-orbit burn, so we'll relight one of those Raptor engines while in space, and that will occur ahead of re-entry, where we'll also be testing multiple experiments, including missing tiles, metallic tiles, and intentionally loading those vehicles' flaps.
Yes, Mother.
And then hopefully we'll conclude today's test flight with a soft splash down in the Indian Ocean.
Yeah, definitely want to see a ship on the other side of the planet today. We did just get a quick update. So the range is fully green. Weather is still red. So we are still tracking a detached anvil roll.
Dan?
Which essentially there's an anvil cloud that's too close to our launch site, and it needs to move further away.
Anvil clouds are charged. That means, like I said, you do not want lightning hitting this thing. It has a lot of energy, And you really ideally want all the energy to come out of the rocket engines. You do not want it to come out anywhere else. Lightning could make the magical energy come out somewhere else. We do not want that. I'm not sure, Geek. So you're saying weather guy lied.
And we're
No,
getting
he
a
told you
weather
the
update right
weather
now.
changes. They can hold for a couple of minutes.
And
Waffles,
teams
is what
looking
they've
at
been
it.
saying.
Again, we're just tracking this anvil rule still.
Lightning is
It's our
moving
only
away.
blocker today. Range is green. Vehicle is green. Weather is currently red. All right, and sad voice coming in. We did just hear that we are still going to be red. So at this point, we are essentially transitioning this to be a wet dress. So wet dress is when we fully load prop on board the rocket. So we are going to see the clock probably start up again. But once they get down to 10 seconds, they're going to abort out, and then we will be done for the day. So sad news, not going to launch today. Weather got in our way, but you can only control so much. Can't always control the weather. Can't control the weather. I wish we could control the weather. We're not there yet.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Wouldn't that be nice? So we are seeing the clock rolling, but again, we're going to get down to T-minus 10 seconds, and we're going to see that kick back out, and then we're going to start offloading all of the propellant that's on board the rocket today. So if you are just tuning in, yeah, it's not going. There it goes. Back to T-minus 40. So, again, we essentially turned today into a wet dress. So, today still ended up being a test.
Still learning something as always.
Yeah, still learning something. We were able to fix the issue that kind of bit us yesterday, where we had a leaky hose that was feeding liquid oxygen into the ship. But we were able to fix that, but weather got us today. So, no launch today. We do have a phenomenal logistics team, though, so we should hopefully be able to replenish prop, everything. We don't have to refill all the water tanks because we didn't fire off the deflector, but we'll have to reload the prop. So very good chance that we can try again tomorrow. We'll obviously update everybody online. And yeah, man, sorry we couldn't go today. Don't worry.
Got gifted a membership on YouTube. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you all for joining us today, and we hope to see you when we do go for launch.
So obviously, follow our account on X at Spacex. We'll share information as soon as it comes available. We'll also be updating the web at spacex.com. So thanks for joining us today. Exciting countdown. Weren't able to get off the ground, but we'll give it another shot tomorrow. Thanks, everybody.
Well, I know what people are saying. What do you mean? You can't launch it? It's just cloudy. It's fine. You do not want to launch the rocket where it could get struck by lightning. Rockets have a lot of things that can explode. Lightning makes things explode. It's not rocket science, guys. Now, once again, should we be progressing to a point where the rockets can launch in any type of weather? Yes, absolutely. SpaceX is working on that. They just don't want to work on that right now. This is a test flight. You ideally want, well, clear conditions. You want clear skies. It is easier to test when the sun's out because there are also other days when the sun is out. And those other days are pretty ideal testing conditions where, you don't get struck by lightning. So unfortunately, that's just the way she goes. That's the way she goes, bud. That's the way she goes. Of course, it's not rocket science. It's meteorology. Well, yeah, that's what I meant, obviously. So, hosting Stakeout tomorrow? I'll get back to you on that. Back to movie references? No, I'm good. Hey, it happens, guys. It happens. Like, SpaceX is trying to push to a point where that isn't a thing. They're trying to get to that point. But you're not going to get to that point by just sending your rocket into a lightning storm and having lightning hit it and it blow up. You don't really learn anything from that other than lightning makes things explode, which I'm pretty sure we've already figured that one out. Anyway, The weather. Yeah, SpaceX opted out of a launch today. Their Anvil clouds are too close. Yeah, Anvil clouds. There's thunderstorms. There's too many thunderstorms that are close to the rocket. You don't want to take the chance with the world's largest vehicle, largest rocket ever designed. You don't want that thing getting hit by lightning. I don't, like I said, I don't really think I need to say why, but you ideally do not want that to happen. If you really want some, evidence as to why that you don't want that to happen, read about the Apollo 12 ascent. NASA has this rule. It's called, in ranges, every range has this rule. It's called the surface electric field rule. The surface electric field rule happened because Apollo 12 almost exploded after getting hit by lightning on the ascent. Yeah. Right after Apollo 12 launched, actually Apollo 12 launched in conditions that are very similar to what you're seeing at Boca Chica right now. Right after it launched, lightning struck the rocket. The lightning went down the rocket, arced down the plume, and hit the tower. And basically blew up some of the signal condition electronics batteries. Yeah, it popped some caps on some batteries. And they had to recondition the signal condition electronics to auxiliary power. ECOM, try SCE to auxiliary. And Apollo 12 almost exploded basically on liftoff. Yeah, it almost popped. You don't want lightning hitting these things, man. It's not great for it. ECOM, try SCE to auxiliary. SCE to aux, what the hell is that? So, yeah, NASA figured out the hard way why you don't want to launch. Like, oh, it's fine. It's just a little cloudy. No, if they're charged clouds, you got a big problem. So, unfortunately, we got no action on the range today, but that's okay.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
What is this?
I'm not saying it's the fault of the people jinxing it in chat. I'm however saying that people who predict scrubs based on their gut feeling should be forced to face in the opposite direction during the launch.
Oh no. Hey, I'll admit I wasn't Come on, my voice is starting to quit, dudes. I'll admit I wasn't feeling it today. Maybe I should be in that group. Anyway, and on that bombshell, it's time to end. Guys, I need to recycle myself. I'm gonna rest. I'm gonna get some sleep. The Starship feeling like Delta 4. Not even close. Show the stream pic I posted in general. Nah, dude, I'm not really of the you tell me what to do kind of persuasion. But, yeah, thank you, though. NSF is showing some weather stuff. It's a shame because the storms seem to be dissipating. That was the wet dress rehearsal. Yeah, oh, yeah. It was a wet dress. Yeah. Yeah, that's what that was. Anyway, that's going to do it for me, guys. I'm going to recycle, and guess what? We're doing all this tomorrow. Again. So, that's going to be fun. Let's pay the raid forward to my buddy Etal, though. Over on the Twitch side of things, let's go see what Etal's up to. He looks like he's playing RimWorld. Let's send him a huge raid. And on the YouTube side of things, I will see you guys all tomorrow. Whether I'm going to do another Starbase stakeout, we'll see. Oh, I got Etal stream up. All right. And Adrian's face right there pretty much sums up how I feel at this moment. Go raid my buddy Etal on the YouTube side of things. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And I hope everybody has a very good night. Yeah, we're doing this all again tomorrow. I'll see you guys. Get some rest. It'll be another long day. Good night.